Friday.
Is it a football Friday?
I don't know. I was just thinking that myself.
Is the Pro Bowl?
Well, we got the flag football game.
Is that happening today?
It's a Dodgeball Friday here on the Fan.
Well, Dodgeball was yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's happening today, but I did see that there's a line on it. You can bet on it.
Can you really?
Yeah.
I've often said you should gamble on just about anything, but if you're gambling on whatever this is, maybe it's time to call one of those hotline numbers.
The ultimate degenerate play is just a week away. People gamble on the coin toss every year. There's nothing
fun,
to it,
right? I mean, 50-50. Why not? Throw a sawbuck on it. See what happens.
Well, just about anything else you could try to find some kind of angle. There is literally not an angle with the coin.
Well, it's like going to roulette, man. Black or red. Let's go. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Well, roulette's pretty dumb. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's for people who like picking colors and numbers. There's not a lot to it.
I saw a thing the other day, and I'm sure there's a million of these, but there was a guy, and he liquidated. I think this was like 4 or 5 years old, but he liquidated everything he owned. And I think it was like, I want to say it was like 200 and took out all of his saving, everything. It was like 200 and something thousand, and went to Vegas and went to the high limit and put it on one roll of roulette, and he won, and it was freaking awesome. Now, granted, had he lost, is the saddest thing in the world.
Now,
but
did they film it?
Yeah, they filmed it.
Okay, see, I'm skeptical of that because they don't let you film those.
Really?
No, they don't.
You can't film just with your phone out?
No, you can't. As a matter of fact, I was just in Vegas, and I asked the guy that because I had money from somebody that wanted, that you do the cheeky, hey, put 20 on this. And I asked the guy if I could film it. He goes, no, but you can film back that way, away from the table.
Huh.
So when they film those, I'm always like, okay,
well,
this
goes back to the, you should always be skeptical. I don't look, if they did it, I think it was at Caesars, and it was kind of if they did it well, because it certainly looked like a full casino, and there were, and it wasn't like it was a professional job, just like someone was filming it with their phone.
Well, it's possible that they cleared him. Best case scenario,
someone walks in and says, "Hey,"
someone went to them and said, "Hey, I got something for social media. Will you allow us to do it here?" And they were like, "Sure. If we'll take your bet."
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If you come in and say, "Look, I am going to play one spin of roulette. I got $262,000."
I think they're going to let you do that all day.
Right? Exactly.
That's what they want.
Yeah, and you're saying, "But I would like to film it." My guess is maybe you get it filmed. I hope that's real. Otherwise, it's like anything else that's on the internet. I assume so many of like the flight confrontations, some of that stuff looks staged, and you never know.
So he won. He put it on what again?
He's put it on
color?
black.
Okay, so
I think he went Wesley Snipes, which is you always bet on black.
So he wins 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1, and he just.
So he got 200 and
whatever it was. Yeah, $260 something thousand.
Maybe they wouldn't let you do that all that often. That's. I don't know. I'm second guessing that. I don't know. It's we need to call our guy Hugh from A&A.
I've never. The most I've ever done is when I was in Vegas for the old Arena League. They flew me down for the tryout, which was the saddest thing ever. And I bet I don't know. I think I had $1,000, and I just put $1,000 on one hand of blackjack, and I lost. That was a terrible.
What?
I
thought you were going to say you won.
No. I don't know.
And it launched your radio career.
I don't remember how, but somehow I don't remember if it was. I just had $1,000. Maybe I like it was after I was done because it was like right after I was playing with the Buccaneers, and I mean it was so long ago. For some reason I had $1,000, and I thought to myself, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to play on one hand. Maybe it was that I just had brought it down there to gamble. And I thought to myself, I figure I have better odds to play on one hand. The longer you play, the odds aren't in your favor. So I thought, let's just try one hand. And I think I got like a 17 or an 18, and I felt pretty good about it. And then the dealer went 20 and took my money, and I was like, well, that sucks. And then I went about my business.
I'm going to text Hugh. He has left A&A, but I'm still in touch with him. And I'm going to text him if a casino
would let you do that.
Well, they will. It's just, would they let everyone?
Yeah.
And would they let everyone film it? Because if they know you, they'll let you play.
Sure.
I mean, those high roller guys, they know him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to text him. And you're gonna get an answer to that today. That's what we do. We answer these questions.
But yeah, that is the most I've ever played on by far on a single hand of anything, or a spin or whatever, or a roll. And I wish I had a cooler story like, oh man, I won and then I doubled it and then I just
I had ace.
Nope.
And then ace.
No.
Split the aces.
The best part is it was a terrible casino, which is a terrible casino, which is where they put us up. And I remember the dealer just being like,
sorry.
Yeah,
see it all the time.
Yeah, I was like,
idiot.
Yeah, get out of here. It's like degenerate. And I'm like, oh, okay. and then just walked away, and that was it. Like, look, in all honesty, if you're going to play, if you have $1,000 to take down to Vegas, you're probably better doing that than you are sitting there and extending it out. I mean, the odds are not in your favor. So might as well just do that. See what happens.
Or just hold on to your money.
I
haven't learned that lesson
yet.
yet.
What's the fun in that?
Exactly. That's what I tell my wife.
Yeah, put a little whimsy out there, man.
What do you mean?
See what happens.
It's only money.
I will say that, again, I wish I could remember exactly why I was doing that or what led to it, but I do remember, like, for that brief moment, I was alive. Like,
That's right.
There was a pucker factor. And by the way, I was unemployed. I was not in the NFL anymore. And so that was like, there was a, like, holy crap.
As I've said many times.
I didn't tell my wife about it.
I've said this many times because people don't often understand gambling, and I totally get why. It's really kind of a dumb exercise. It is not about the money. It's about the action.
Yeah.
The action stirs an inner fierceness in you.
Yeah, there's an emotion.
An excitement.
Yeah. I think it might have been that I had the money and I didn't tell my wife about it, so I figured, like, I can't really...
she won't know.
Yeah, exactly. She won't know, and I couldn't really do anything with it, otherwise she would know. So I was like,
now this raises a question. What is the worst thing to bet on in sports? Is it the Pro Bowl flag football game?
Oh, it's got to be,
I mean, can you find something worse? Like, I remember one time, Demers used to be around here, and you would give him crap for betting on NBA preseason.
Yeah. It was really disturbing.
I think this is worse, though. Flag football?
I bet on, now, to be fair, it's only one, but I do, for the last 3 years, I have bet on every Ravens preseason football game. Is that?
I mean,
but that at least follows a trend.
That's bad, but this is worse.
So what you're talking about with Demers is it's like there's two kinds of bad. With the flag football one, it's like there is no handicap. You are just throwing a blind shot and hoping your money doubles.
Yeah,
Whereas if you think you're finding an angle on an NBA preseason, that might be worse because like you have a piece of you that's broken that down and you've got a knowledge of that you think is important.
Yeah.
I just remember Demers all the time looking for angles. Like Washington State would be playing Portland State, and he would have some sort of hot angle on it. I'm like, oh my God, really?
Do you think that the Little League World Series takes action? Because somebody said that's up there.
I think that they do.
They probably
I think they do now.
You can bet on that?
I don't. This is
I'm
not.
pretty sure.
You can't legally bet on this, but I think we've talked about it, and you can see it on YouTube. And fights break out, and I think at one point someone shot someone. Down in like South Florida, little kid football is a big deal, like the Pee Wee leagues. And there is like bookies that are doing live bets at like 6-year-old, 7-year-old Pee Wee football games. I would that's got to be as bad as it gets, right? Like if you're betting on you're betting on 7-year-olds.
Again, to Buck's point, if you're in the know down there in the the Little League football,
it might be a better bet, but it's a sadder commentary.
Yeah, it's sad, but there's probably some money to be had there if you know what you're betting on. Now, AFC, NFC, Pro Bowl flag foot, like how would you even handicap that?
Just I guess who's playing, but it's a different game.
And
so
by the way,
you
cannot legally. You'd have to go through a bookie. Little League World Series is out.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
You are unable to wager on the Little League World Series at U.S. sportsbooks.
See, I think Bovada has had that before.
No, it's right here. It is illegal. U.S. sportsbooks, FanDuel, DraftKings, all that. Now,
but Bovada's offshore.
Yeah, offshore, you might be able to. Because I will tell you, when you go over to the UK, when I was living over there, you can bet on anything. You can bet on politics. I mean, you name it. And the bookies over there, like there is a bookkeeper, a bookshop on literally every corner. It's like Starbucks over here. You think we gamble a lot? No. The freaking Europeans, those sons of guns.
Well, who are we betting on? We've got the NFC -1.5 over the AFC.
Are we going to do this?
I think.
I mean, theoretically. Who's quarterback?
Yeah, I think. Well, Goff is quarterbacking the NFC. I know that.
He seems like a great flag football quarterback.
He's one of them. The AFC, I think, like Drake May's over there.
Okay, Hugh already got back to me.
I think we're taking I'm going NFC, man.
So it's sorry, did you say Goff against May?
Well, I don't know who the other quarterbacks are, but I'm taking my Lions. I'm taking the NFC.
That's probably why they're favored.
What's the spread? You said
1.5.
Yeah, it's a pick. I'm taking the NFC right now. Let me go up my bet online.
So Hugh said that a casino would likely want to know. So the question was, can anybody just waltz into a casino and the casino would happily let them put a few $100,000 on black or red on roulette?
Yeah.
And he said the casino is likely going to want to know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But if they know who they are, that is definitely a bet that they want to take. I mean, they're like, yeah, sure,
let's
idiot.
go.
When you
can
say
place that.
know who they are, just making sure it's like not stolen money or something.
Yeah,
probably.
right.
Because isn't that the old adage, like you see in the movies, like if you're trying to clean money, you take it to a casino.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
And I don't think they like that, which is why I think you got to take it to the Indian casinos.
Then they take you in the back and put your hand in a vice.
Yeah.
Is that what they call that, a vice?
Yeah, it's a vice.
I saw that in casino.
Does that
Jeff Ma situation.
You're getting into a whole other thing. Does that still?
I don't think so.
Can I run because I feel like when I go to casinos now, like it doesn't have the mob element, but I'm guessing that if I piss off,
Well, look.
Steve Wynn, I'm guessing he knows people.
Well, Steve Wynn is long out of the picture. He was canceled.
Steve Wynn's not running the Wynn anymore?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
No, he got canceled. As a matter of fact, he can't even set foot in there.
Really?
No, he's out of Vegas. He lives in Florida.
I didn't know.
His ex-wife, Elaine, runs it, though.
I thought she ran the Encore.
She's around. Well, she has them both now.
Oh.
Well, it's a corporation,
Yeah.
but she's on the board and the whole
And
thing.
that's what I'm wondering. Will a corporate henchman put my my goodies in a vice?
The answer is no.
Oh.
But
Did this arrest me?
I would tell you, you talk to people that are in the casino game. The casinos are most definitely not your friend.
Yeah.
They're not, and they may offer you things because they want to get in your wallet, but they are not your friend. It is you against them.
Yeah.
And they will take that very seriously
Yeah.
if that tells you anything. Now, put your balls in a vice? Probably not.
I would like, I want to believe that that's out
Are
there.
your balls jiggling? But I think there's a room in the back that,
Well, did you ever read that book,
Some
Bringing Down
shakedown.
the House, about the dude who was doing the card counting operation out of MIT?
I did.
Yeah.
Or at
Wait
least
a
heard the
minute.
story. They made a movie out of it that I think Kevin Spacey was in
Was it
before
called
he got
Bringing Down
canceled.
the House? It was called.
I thought it was called Bringing Down the House.
Yeah, but I do remember.
Was
But-
that Ben Mesrick? Did write that?
Maybe. The guy's name was Jeff Ma, who was at the center of it, and it was like they had like a teacher at MIT who kind of helped teach them how to do it, and then they started in Atlantic City, they started going to Vegas, and it's not modern times, but it's recent enough that they had people from casinos like trying to chase them down in Vegas to like intimidate, threaten,
Yeah.
and threaten with physical harm.
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
the
like
way-
I said, it's an age-old practice. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just think it's a better world when, that sort of stuff is allowed to go on. Yeah, a little eye for an eye sort of thing.
shake them up a little bit.
Well, if you wanted to be bold enough to try to cheat a casino, I feel like the casino should
Take
have
it into their own
certain-
hands.
certain leeway. By the way, we have an official answer, and I have looked this up. Since 2023, we were asking where is the line for the most degenerate thing, and Little League World Series and little kid football. No, it's this, and it is legal now. The Supreme Court ruled on it. Do you have? I mean, there's nothing. This is bottom of the barrel. It cannot get any worse. And yes, it is legal. You can do this.
Spelling bee?
No, think much worse.
Well, I'm gonna go with, and this is where
In the United States.
in the
Worse.
U.S.
You can bet on this in the United States. We have been a part of this. We have not gambled on it, but think about we have played a major role in this. We have given them lots of money over the years.
Whoa.
This show right here, we might be responsible for like $1 million going to them. You should get this. And think about what would be the worst possible thing you could gamble on. I mean, you are a horrible human being.
Well, I keep going back to dogfighting in my head.
Oh, this is worse than dogfighting, in my opinion.
Human trafficking? What are we talking about here?
You can now, starting in 2023, you can gamble on the Special Olympics.
Oh.
I'm telling you right now, you have no soul
Something Wong.
if you are placing wagers
Are you
on the
serious?
Special Olympics.
It's-
Yes,
an
the
edge is an
U.S.
edge, man.
Supreme Court ruled
Buck goes an edge is an edge.
there is nothing.
Hell yeah,
Their
Buck.
whole thing, their whole mantra is hugging and loving and laughing, and it's not about
Well,
competition.
then why do they give out medals?
Well,
You
that's
know?
right. There's a winner and a loser.
There's a winner and a
listen,
loser.
You know as well as I, we did a lot of work with them over the years. There's some competitive MFers in that.
Dude, there is nothing. If you ever want to ask, are you a terrible human being? Simply ask, have you considered betting on the Special Olympics?
Wow.
Are you
I was not prepared for that.
If
Nor
I got,
was I.
And you know what? If I got a good tip, I would do it. Like, why would I feel bad?
Oh my god.
The Forbes
You
article
told me it
is
was a lock. I'll throw $20 on that.
there is a Forbes article that says people can now bet on the 2023 Special Olympics. Quote, is this a good thing? No, it's not. It really, really isn't.
Well, if you wanted to make the case, you can bet on the regular, like the Olympics.
Yeah, you can bet on the regular Olympics.
It's athletes competing at a high level. There's no. I mean,
Yeah,
what's
you
Yes.
bet. Are you about ready to tell me they're not
honestly,
regular people?
You know what? Yeah.
Come on.
This is discrimination.
Yeah, that's right.
You
Why should we
ass?
not bet against them any different than the
That's
other athletes?
right. Why are we treating them differently?
Yeah. Let me be brave, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. And also let me earn someone a little money. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think you're looking at this all wrong. I'm with Buck.
I think we hunt down an angle this next Special Olympics cycle.
We have some ins.
Betting on some handicapped kids in wheelchairs. You're like, yeah, let's just do it. Why not?
Why do they have to be in wheelchairs?
Whatever.
Pretty unfair.
However you want them.
Pretty unfair.
Jeez.
In fact, I'm gonna back a wheelchair athlete, and I'm gonna win money on them.
Wheelchair basketball.
Sure.
Those guys are
Or wheelchair
awesome.
races.
Have
I mean,
you
they
ever
do
seen
races
those?
too, right?
Someone just said, gave me a great idea. I can't wait for the Special Olympics. Wow. Just, wow. Someone said it's called equality.
That's right.
I saw today that in Colorado, the table tennis gambling has doubled that of hockey gambling in the state. It's like $24 million
Well, I
last
guess
month.
we talked about this.
Yeah, you brought up the story about how
You
that's a
gamble on it
big
anywhere.
thing now.
It's a huge thing because apparently in table tennis, and I think that regular tennis has a little bit of this too. A lot of the people who actually follow those sports say it's one of the easier sports to bet on because the favorites almost always win.
Yeah.
The other thing is that there are games in the middle of the night when
That's
people are doing
right.
their degenerate, addictive behavior,
Yeah.
and the games are really frequent. They don't take long, so there's lots of turnover. So the people that just need to keep betting, they just have something to do that on.
By the way, February 22nd, there is a Special Olympics basketball South Regional tournament in Corvallis.
Oh, baby. You tell me we
regionals?
could bet on it and witness it in person?
Well, I think that's our fact-finding mission. We go there and
It's scouting.
Scout.
For the
That's
big
right.
leagues.
March 1st is the Basketball North Regional, and that's at Wilsonville High School. So we scout out the teams
Just down
in
the street
South
from my
Regional,
mom's
and
house.
then
okay, we'll send Buckley to the south. I'll go to the north.
Yeah.
We'll get this covered.
what are we doing?
We're betting is
Oh
what we're
my
doing.
gosh.
Finding an edge.
Finding an edge.
I love money.
Yeah.
All right, well, we have Joey Harrington today.
We're all going to hell, but all right. America, yeah!
He'll be on 5:30.
Yeah.
We do not have football
No.
as much as they're trying to corkscrew football in this weekend. We don't.
Smiles and glory holes.
He did it again. What is with Jerry Jones and glory holes?
Wait.
That was Jerry
what,
Jones.
What was the smiles?
Well, he just was saying not everything is
He's like, not
smiles
everything
and
could be
glory holes.
smiles and glory holes, and I don't know what that means.
Like
I,
I
don't
always
know if he
say,
knows what
things
that
aren't
means.
always like Raspberry, Frogurt, and
Yeah.
Stones. Apparently, Jerry Jones goes with smiles and glory
That's his
holes.
version of that.
Smiles and glory holes.
I just look. That should
Wow.
not be like when you're thinking like ice cream and puppies is another one that I hear people use. Smiles and glory holes.
You hear rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah, Jesus, Jerry. Second
Man,
time he's referenced
we are
it.
learning a
Yeah,
lot.
we are learning a lot.
Well, we're going to start with fun football audio next on The Fan.
You have got to be smoking something over there.
A Brought to you by the Odyssey app.
On 1080 The Fan.
All right, coming up, we have a new NFL coach. Maybe. Well, most likely. Do you know who it is?
I do not know who it is.
What? But first,
we think
sports audio, football audio. I've got perhaps the worst sports argument of 2025 for you.
Okay.
And then we've got Eagles bro mic'd up at the NFC Championship game.
Oh,
and we want to play a little bit of that
It's
for you.
fantastic. It's some of the best trash talk you'll ever hear.
But first, it's Cam Newton.
You all right?
What?
What? You just...
Cam Newton.
Came to a weird abrupt stop there. I was like, huh?
It's Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Ha, did it again.
What?
He is on some stupid show wearing some stupid hat and glasses.
So was Stephen A, I think.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I don't know. Stephen A's on isn't Stephen A on like a million shows?
He's on a lot of shows, yes.
Whatever. Who cares what the show is? It's these two guys talking, and Cam Newton, I believe, I don't know if this is in the question.
It starts with
there?
Stephen A's question.
Okay. Yeah, so take a listen to Cam Newton's answer. This question and answer with Stephen A. Smith. And perhaps the worst sports argument of 2025?
Okay.
We've got a former league MVP right here on the set right now in Cam. I ask you, Cam, if you could give back that league MVP for a Super Bowl championship.
No.
Oh.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Because you have to ask it through this lens. That was a very journalistic viewpoint or vantage point or response, Stephen A. I'll ask you this question, and, just to pose this thought. What's more important, impact or championships? You look at a guy like Allen Iverson, or you stood up on the table and blah, 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 blah. Everybody's not going to be Michael Jordan. Everybody's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's not going to be these individuals who have the luxury of saying, hey, I not only dominated this sport, but I also have championships to back it. Like, let me remind you, Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Respectfully, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. So, yes, when you look at those guys and you say, okay, what's more important? Would you have preferred to win a Super Bowl? I think that's the humble approach, but if we're being honest, the impact of you holding yourself accountable to say everybody has a responsibility to do. And you can say as an MVP award winner or an All-American, you've held yourself or you've held your end of the bargain down. And that's what it really comes down to for me. I know that's not the popular pick. I'm trying to be popularized, but my take is I'm taking individual success because I did my job. Football is not about one guy trying to do 11 jobs. It's 11 guys doing one job. And if everybody does their job best, famous words of our coach, Belichick, just do your job.
Let's do it. Well,
what?
At least he's honest.
I mean, I guess.
He's honest.
What do you think of that?
Well, all right. First off,
you think a lot of guys think that way?
Okay. Two things. All right. I need
Spit it out.
I need to break this down because I'm trying to be fair because I think Cam Newton gets a bad rap. Cam Newton was really good, and I don't think we appreciate Cam Newton for how good he was. Cam Newton was really, really stinking good. And he was. He was an MVP.
He was no Nick Foles.
He was no Nick Foles. And so this is where I think the argument gets a little, that it's a little disingenuous because he brought up Brad Johnson, he brought up Nick Foles. Now, to say, would you rather have Cam Newton's career or Brad Johnson's career? I think most people would take Cam Newton's career, even though Brad Johnson has a Super Bowl and Cam Newton does not. This is the Charles Barkley thing. People ask Charles Barkley, would you trade careers with Robert Horry? And Charles Barkley's like, no. Robert Horry was a decent six man, was a journeyman. I was one of the 50 greatest players of all time. Yes, he won titles. I would not trade my career. I don't think that's an ignorant take. Okay. So when you bring up Brad Johnson and you bring up Trent Dilfer, that's completely different because you're taking, again, journeyman may be a strong word. You're taking very, very average quarterbacks that happen to win Super Bowls. Okay. But to say that you would, I'm trying to think like Joe Flacco. Now I think that's a little bit different because Joe Flacco had a really nice career, right? Dan Marino wouldn't trade careers with Brad Johnson simply for a Super Bowl, but would he trade careers with Steve Young, who only has one Super Bowl, right? Like all of a sudden you're like, well, maybe I'll take Steve Young. Steve Young isn't as good as Dan Marino, doesn't have a good numbers, but Steve Young won a Super Bowl. So I think that argument gets a little skewed there with Cam. I do think it's interesting though that Cam brought up, and this is where I'll kind of go at Cam. He brought up 11 guys being accountable. Cam Newton in the Super Bowl went 18 of 41 with a pick. In the biggest game, and that was your MVP season, that was your best season when you carried your team to the Super Bowl, you played one of your worst games you've ever played. So, that's
Von Miller ate his lunch, right?
Yeah, that's a little wonky. You can't go 18 of 41 and throw a pick with no tutties in the biggest game and say that I was held accountable all year. Well, you also played like crap. It wasn't your own fault. I mean, your O-line let you down, but you lost 24-10 and you played the worst. So, look, I think we can all agree that Cam Newton is a bit of a jackass. I think Cam Newton probably isn't for everyone. I think Cam Newton sometimes has horrific takes, and this is where you get in trouble. I feel this way about like Michael Irvin. Just because you're a Hall of Fame player doesn't mean that you make any sort of real sense or that you, I think, are a good analyst when it comes to football. But
Is Cam Newton an analyst now?
I think he's more of a hot take guy.
I see him around.
He's
definitely making the rounds
making
as
the
an
rounds.
analyst now, or at least doing something to supplement the old
But
income.
at least I'll give Cam this. Yes, I think there's more athletes that side on that side than we realize. It's just that most would always say the easy thing, which is, of course, I would trade my MVP for a Super Bowl. And again, for someone like Allen Iverson, who only won one MVP, Allen Iverson would certainly trade his MVP for an NBA championship because Allen Iverson is one of the greatest players of all time. And he still would be one of the greatest players of all time, even if he never won an MVP.
But Nick Foles is trading a title for an MVP. Because that means he's just a way better player and made way more money.
Yes. So
he's trading that thing.
It's a disingenuous argument because
he's using bad examples.
He's taking apples to oranges and he needs to be doing apples to apples.
Yeah. So who are the apples to apples then?
Again, I would say that the one like
do you think Lamar trades his MVPs for a title right now?
All three of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he does too.
He does too. Yeah. Because again, even if Lamar didn't have 3 MVPs, and by the way, 3 MVPs puts him in really rarefied air. And he hasn't won the third one yet, but he's going to. He's basically a slam dunk. Again, that goes, Lamar would. I have no doubt in my mind that because Lamar would be like, yes, I don't need an MVP. You don't need an MVP to solidify yourself as one of the great quarterbacks of all time. I do think you do need a Super Bowl ring. So otherwise, you end up being Dan Fouts or Dan Marino.
Well, yeah. So the argument is the worse the player, the more they'll take the MVP.
Yes.
The better the player,
yes,
the more they don't care and they want the title.
Yes. So it's just Cam being...
But he's a better player
yeah,
who's saying he'd rather have the MVP.
And the problem with Cam is, and I think this is where that mentality comes from, I don't think Cam gets viewed as a great player. I think Cam gets viewed as a really, really good player. He was never a great thrower of the football. The advanced analytics were never that good. It ended very poorly for him when his shoulder became crab meat. And it ended with a whimper. Remember, no one wanted him as a backup. And I'll bet you that Cam Newton is behind closed doors. I'll bet you Cam Newton is really bitter. I think that Cam feels like he has always been slighted. I feel like Cam is probably very angry when I listen to him about the way his 11-year career is viewed. And while the Super Bowl, again, this is his point, and I think it's a valid point. Nick Foles can hold up a Super Bowl trophy and say, I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I think the idea is that if Cam had a Super Bowl, I think a lot of people would still view Cam as more Nick Foles than Drew Brees. But the MVP lets him give you the middle finger and be like, F you, I was the best player in the NFL. And I think to him who feels disrespected, I do. I think that makes him feel better. And I guess, do I agree with it? No, but I see where he's coming from, and I don't think it's as...
It makes him harder to tear down or attack or whatever. It's like an extra barrier of defense for him.
Yes.
Yeah. It also says a lot about him.
Yeah, it does.
And maybe not Not my quarterback? Who's
No.
that? Was that Terrell Owens
That
said that?
my quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
Well,
that is not my
quarterback. I mean, even if I asked you just right now, the best dual threat, the 3 or 4 best dual threat quarterbacks,
Lamar Jackson.
and his name, like I'm just saying, Cam is an MVP, and his name is not going to come up.
3 or 4 best?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah. I'm not certain his name's coming up, and I'm not even talking about quarterbacks. I'm just saying dual threat quarterbacks.
You're not talking about quarterbacks?
Well, obviously, his name doesn't come up if I give you the best quarterbacks of all time.
He's not saying all quarterbacks, but
I'm just saying
specifically
the
both.
best dual threat quarterbacks
That's
of all
actually
time.
a good question. I mean, it'd be Lamar.
Mount Rushmore of dual threat quarterbacks. Who's on it?
Yeah. Oh, man.
And I think this is what pisses him off.
Steve Young.
Yes.
Yeah. Is Josh Allen on that?
You didn't see it.
It's gonna be.
Herein
Vic.
lies the question.
See, Newton was better than
But
Vic.
Vic's got the rep. Like
Yep.
right now, I think the collective sports public thinks more of Michael Vick's playing ability
Yes.
than Cam Newton's playing ability.
Yes,
Yeah,
if
that's
you
probably
bring
true.
up Michael Vick and you bring up Cam Newton, people will laugh and be like, dude, Michael Vick all
Yeah.
day. And I think that's what, at the end of the day, really sticks in his stupid little hat with 9 playing cards in it. And some of this is his own thing because he's made himself he's
been
kind of made
pretty
himself a joke.
He's been pretty unlikable.
Yes.
And yet Vic was the guy who was fighting dogs and was like public enemy number 1.
And yet
And now he's like a college coach.
Yeah. Now I got to look. Did Michael Vick ever win an MVP?
No.
Because he was real good.
I'm
On
gonna look
the
at
cover of Madden though.
Tell you what I'm doing. Fellas. During this next break,
Best mobile quarterbacks.
No, he never won an MVP.
I'm comparing Newton to Vic.
And that'll be Cam Newton's FU to Michael Vick, and all that is, hey, I've got an MVP and Michael doesn't.
So who do you think is on the Mount Rushmore of
Well, we'll do it when we come back.
Do you have 4?
I do have 4.
Am I on it?
Man, that
Your
that-
pheasant bowl
that-
performance.
that
How
knee
far does it
injury.
take you?
That knee injury.
All right. We got a new coach in the NFL, most likely, and a little bit more football audio for you. Here is Buck.
This is a Football Friday edition of Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
Brought to you by the Odyssey app.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Brought to you by Crunch Fitness. Membership as low as $9.99 per month. Find your Crunch Time in Portland, Vancouver, and online at crunch.com. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers, winners of 6 of their last 7. They beat the Orlando Magic on Thursday night. They have today off, but then continue their 7-game homestand on Saturday. When the Phoenix Suns come to town, they'll play the Suns 2 games in a row, both Saturday and on Monday. Meanwhile, Blazers forward Toumani Camara is headed to the Bay Area for the All-Star exhibition. He'll be on the Rising Stars Challenge along with teammate Scoot Henderson. Down at Pebble Beach, round 2 of the Pro-Am sees Sepp Straka all alone in first for the second day in a row. He cards a 7 under 65. He's got a 3-shot lead on the field. Russell Henley, Cam Davis are both tied for second at 11 under par. Meanwhile, Tony Finau, Andrew Novak, Tom Kim, Justin Rose, and Austin Eckroat are all 10 under par, 4 shots off the lead. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley, the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
This is your home for all-day NFL coverage. The Odyssey app and Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
All right, we were talking about Cam Newton, who said he would not trade his MVP for a title.
And again, I'm backing him. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I think there's a path to where you can see where he's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him, but okay. I mean,
Yeah. No,
it's
I get
it's
it.
his opinion.
It is.
I did look at Cam Newton versus Mike Vick statistically.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Except for one thing.
MVP.
No. Well, there's
In a
another
Super
one.
Bowl.
We'll talk about it.
Well, Newton. So just to compare,
Dogfighting.
well, that is a stark.
Yeah.
Unless Cam Newton was a dogfighter.
Not that I know of, but he did wear dumb hats and still does.
Cam Newton was 75 and 68 in 144 starts.
Yeah.
Mike Vick was 61 and 51 in 115 starts. So pretty similar.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, 85.2 quarterback rating for his career.
Yeah.
Mike Vick, 80.4.
Yeah.
And then touchdowns, interceptions, Newton 194 to 123, and Vick 133 to 88. And if you average those out, they both average about 2.7 interceptions per attempt.
And Vic really obviously had the weird, he had a blip in his career. I just wish you could have gotten old Michael Vick when he actually learned how to play the position. Remember, he went to Philly and he said Andy Reid actually taught him how to play the position. Had that version of Michael Vick, if you could take young Michael Vick and be like, hey man, just give me a year to figure out what you're doing here, and you could have really had something special. I played with a guy who was an offensive lineman with Michael Vick at Virginia Tech, and I'm not here to drag on Vick. He just said you've never met a more undedicated, unserious player, and their playbook was so simplistic. A lot of times it was basically give the ball to Michael and get out of the way, and he was that good.
So Newton threw a better touchdown percentage, but they were about the same in their interception percentage.
Yeah.
And then rushing, Vick had more yards, 6,109 to Newton's 5,628. But Newton had way more touchdowns, 75 to 36.
And this is where I think there needs to be an appreciation for Cam Newton. Cam Newton had 75 rushing touchdowns.
He was goal line guy.
And not only that, but Cam Newton got tough yards. Like there's some guys like Steve Young deserves to be on this list. Steve Young was one of Steve Young, Fran Tarkenton, Randall Cunningham. These guys walk so that Lamar and Cam Newton can run. But Steve didn't run in between the tackles. Steve ran because they were scrambles. Cam Newton literally like he was the run game for them.
Yeah, and Vic was more of a speedster, more like elusive.
Cam was just a truck. I don't think people appreciate how big and physical Cam Newton was. So Cam is on my Mount Rushmore.
But he's a tight end size guy.
Yes.
Vic averaged 7 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's stupid.
And Newton averaged 5 yards per attempt.
Again, some of that is, scrambling, getting to the edge. And Cam would, look, if it was 3rd and 3, Cam will get you 3 yards. This isn't just, hey, we're going to scramble. There were design runs. And I used to always say the part I didn't love about running quarterbacks is you can't hold up over years. And Cam he held up for a while. And then, again, you get hit in the shoulder and then he couldn't throw anymore and his career was cut short. So he was kind of his own victim, and he never really developed into a really true pocket passer, which, that's on him. So,
Okay.
but if I'm doing my if I'm doing my Mount Rushmore,
and this is just dual threat
quarterbacks. To me, Lamar Jackson. I've never seen anything like him. He truly is. He's Michael Vick, but knows how to play the position. There's a reason why he's a 3-time MVP. If he ever wins a Super Bowl or 2, look out. It's scary. It's scariness. To me, Cam Newton. I think he was the first dual threat guy that spent 10 years actually being a dual threat guy and truly was the best runner and thrower. I mean, he was different. No NFL quarterback has ever run for more touchdowns, 75 touchdowns. In fact, the closest behind him is Josh Allen. But you look at Lamar only has 33 rushing TDs. Cam has 75. That is silly. And then I'm putting Steve Young in mine. And then because of the shortness of the career, I'm going to take Randall Cunningham. I wanted to put Michael Vick right there, but I'm going to go with Randall because, again, I think he was a true pioneer. And I also love, much like Vick, Cunningham learned how to be a quarterback at the end. And in Minnesota, those are the best. I mean, he was scary good, and I still can't believe that Minnesota team didn't win a Super Bowl. So Vic misses my list simply because of the missed time and just wasn't quite there. But if you gave me this a second time, I might flip Vic and Cunningham. But Lamar, Cam, Randall, Steve Young. There's my list.
What's yours?
Oh, what's mine? Or are you asking the listeners,
else,
the collective you?
Who else
I don't
do you
know.
think I'm talking to?
I don't know. The listeners?
There's no one listening to us.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm taking Steve Young. I'm taking Josh Allen. I mentioned this in the break. Part of that is biased because I've won more than I should have on Josh Allen anytime touchdowns. He just gets in the end zone all the freaking time. But also, like, he's still maybe yet to reach his prime, and he's getting better still. So those two guys, plus I'll take Lamar and Cunningham.
Oh, Lamar Cunningham. Okay. So you left Newton off.
I left Newton and Vic off.
Yeah. Well, he left Vic off too.
Yes, it was close.
Text line wondering if Patrick Mahomes should count as a dual threat.
I was going to ask that. Is he a dual threat guy?
See, this is my difference between dual threat and
he scrambles.
He's not a primary run option like these other guys.
There's a difference between someone that scrambles. Aaron Rodgers was a great scrambler. I thought John Elway was a great scrambler. The difference is, and this is why Steve Young to me is kind of borderline, it's the difference between getting out of the pocket, extending plays, and picking up first downs, and someone that is an actual threat. When you game plan against any of those guys, they are part of the run game. And with like Lamar and Cam, they were the main focus of their run game for many a moon. Same thing with Michael Vick. So that's why I consider Mahomes a great escapability and a first down. And he's a mobile guy, but a dual threat, you're cutting hairs.
We got a new NFL coach, most likely, and our last bit of football audio next on The Fan. Hey ho, hey ho. It's me, Chevy Chase.
You're doing a hey. That's more of a
Wasn't
naughty by nature. Hey ho, hey.
No, wasn't it Chevy Chase in one of the? Was it Fletch?
Doing
hey ho, hey.
That might be.
That sounds like something he's done.
You don't want to reference him though. He's bad dude.
He's bad nude.
He's bad dude.
Oh,
yeah, he might also be bad nude.
It's possible. Well, he's certainly let himself go. You know who hasn't let themselves go? The Nation.
Window Nation.
No, they don't let themselves go.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
They keep it tight.
You know what they do? They tighten it up, and
That's
they tighten it up right before the end of the month because right now at the Nation, Window Nation, where you get windows and stuff, 60% off all window styles, plus pay nothing with no interest for 2 years now. Just a couple weeks ago, this was only 50%. They're giving you an additional 10% up until, well, really the end of today. So it's really time to get those windows. If you've been putting it off, you can schedule a free in-home consultation with these guys by calling 866-90-NATION or visiting windownation.com. 866-90-NATION or windownation.com. When you buy all your windows, no matter how many you need, they all come with a lifetime warranty, and they'll be out there and install them in a day or less. The time is now. 60% off all window styles and pay nothing with no interest for 2 years. If you need windows for your home, call them at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
You know what? Let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Hey, we can invite our friends over, and all take turns yelling at the TV during the game.
But first, we should get a new TV.
Yeah, like one of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, so I'll start shopping on the internet, then head over to the Warehouse Club to compare.
But if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at video only, not online or at the club.
Video only has better deals?
Yep. with Isaac and Suk
Brought to you by the Odyssey app.
on 1080 The Fan.
Did you guys have Sepp Straka at the AT&T?
I do not. Sorry.
No, I'm only on Justin Rose and Lucas Glover.
Okay. How's Lucas Glover doing?
He's in the mix.
Is he good?
250 to 1.
More interested in the TGL myself.
No, you're not.
No, that's a lie. He's not.
Lie.
I'm all about it.
Nope.
Can't wait for the when's Live started. Hey, they got a TV deal.
Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching Live Golf.
No, you won't.
In their little shorts.
You won't be watching anything.
I'm gonna be watching someone in
Watching John Rahm yell at some drones and all about the loud music.
I want John Rahm in some hot pants out there swinging. Let me see those thighs, Johnny.
So let's power rank before we get back to our task at hand here.
Yeah, we have a
want
task?
you to power rank in order of what you would watch to least watch.
Mm-hmm. And I have to watch something.
Live Golf.
Yeah.
TGL.
Ooh, double ick.
Or, I mean, I won't use Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
They're playing at Pebble right now.
Yeah.
I won't use that because, cool course to watch.
Last week's Farmers Insurance.
Yeah, the farm. Well,
God.
Let's go. The American Express in La Quinta.
That is so painful. All right.
Power rank.
I'm watching TGL first.
You are?
Yeah, because it's over like in an hour, right? That has to be like the.
No, I don't think so.
It's
2 hours.
Is it?
I think so. I don't know.
I'm taking
talking out
that
of my
because it's one day, like hour 45, and I'm
head.
out.
I'm not saying you got to watch the whole tournament. I'm just saying, it's like I'm giving you. You're sitting down,
Yeah.
and you have a cocktail, and you're like, Whew, what a long day talking to Rob. I need to watch some sports, and those are your three options.
my three
what are
options.
you tuning into?
And I only have to watch for an hour.
Let's give you an hour.
Give me an hour.
And
All
you
right.
do have to watch it.
Generic golf, PGA. I'll watch the Honda Classic.
Okay.
Whatever. Then
That's a Jack's course.
Sure. Why not? Give me the Genesis Open.
Okay.
Whatever.
That's at the Riv.
Yeah,
but
it's
not this year.
not. It's moved. I'm watching that. I think I'm watching TGL, and then I think I'm watching
Live last. Wow.
I refuse to support that hunk of crap. I absolutely refuse to support it.
TGL, not a hunk of crap.
Yes, it is a hunk of crap, but that's a hunk of crap that's going to die. That hunk of crap that's lived, not only is it sticking around, but it really has done damage. The TGL isn't damaging anyone other than people that are forced to, like Scott Van Pelt that's supposed to pretend he cares about that.
Now, apparently golf is under attack from the YouTubers. Have you seen this, Isaac?
Oh, no. Why?
Oh, well, I mean, people are saying that YouTube golf and like YouTube golf content is far more appealing to the younger generations of golfers.
Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau.
Not Bryson, the Paige Spiriniaks of the world, and all like. And then you got these good golf guys or whatever. Like apparently the ratings, we've seen golf ratings tanking for a while, and now they're saying that the YouTube and the content creators may have something to do with that.
Listen, I get that. I really do. You know who is king of that? There is someone at our station who says that to me. He's like, dude, I go play golf, but not because I watch freaking Scotty Scheffler.
Joe Fisher?
It's because I watch YouTube and these. There's a bunch of guys that go out and they film their rounds and they do fun things with the golf cup.
There's a guy that's popular that I see. He hits driver off the deck no matter what. And
Things
he's
like that.
Yeah,
and they're fun and funny. It's way more interesting.
But there's cool ways to get tips too. Like you can say, "Oh, I'm having issues with blah blah blah." Like I'm not going to sit around to wait an hour and a half to see somebody chip that I know their name. Like I could just watch somebody chip over and over again and get that part down.
I hate to say this, but that's a totally fair thing. I get that. Yeah,
but it's been a big talking point this last week in golf.
Yeah. Well, this is where this is why we have TGL.
They're trying
to sort of bridge that gap, even though they're doing a terrible job at it. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Trying to make it more interesting and fun and lively and exciting, but it's not.
Who's the guy at the Fan that's
Ortner?
Oh, well, God.
Ortner loves golf. Yeah. He likes to play golf, and he's like, I don't watch golf. I watch YouTube.
Will is a walking he's a walking stereotype.
Of the next generation of sports fan. He is. He absolutely is.
That is
I think my kid gets a lot of his golf stuff from that.
Probably.
From like little Instagram clips or whatever.
I would bet most people under 30 do.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
So, but yeah, Live, I can't. I just, that whole thing just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm at that age where, like, my feelings towards something, look, my hypocrisy knows no bounds, but there is an element of, like, I just find that whole thing to be slimy and smarmy, and I choose, like, when it comes on, I'm like, oh my God, this. And even though it would be better golf to watch than whatever crap TGL's throwing out there, I don't know, there's something, it's so unappealing to me because of what's behind it. And just how shameless it is. Because it's crap, and the only reason it's around is that some really, really bad organization has like $1 trillion, and they're like, we don't care, it's yours. And then that's just, there's something fundamentally broken about that for me.
Look at that. We just talked golf.
Give me the Honda Classic.
All I had to do was mention Sepp Straka and Suk launches into golf talk. I love that.
Sepp Straka.
That's your boy.
Gold
Remember?
jacket, green jacket, who gives a
I told you something about him 2 weeks ago.
I remember you did say something about Sepp Straka.
He shaved his head.
Yeah.
He's young, but
he's
all the
got
guys
the
on
bad
tour
hair.
were giving him crap because his hair sucked. They're like, dude, you need to shave that thing.
And good
he
for him.
did.
Yeah. There's nothing worse.
And now he's winning again.
Brock Bowers. Yeah, that's all right, because I was like, Brock Bowers, I'm looking right at you. Dude, just let it go, man. It's all right. Let it go.
All right, well, guess what I'm going to tease for the 4th time?
Golf?
More audio?
We have a new NFL coach, most likely.
Yes.
And more football audio.
Because we only have one team that doesn't have a coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Saints.
The Aints that no one wants that job except for this guy.
It sounds
I
like
ripped his ass, quite frankly.
Sounds like they have their man. We'll get to that next on The Fan.
And Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this sports update. First on The Fan. The surging Portland Trail Blazers win again Thursday, claiming their 6th victory in the last 7 games. They are off tonight. Portland's 7-game homestand continues Saturday when they host the Phoenix Suns. They actually host the Suns for 2 straight games, one on Saturday and one on Monday. Meanwhile, Blazers forward Toumani Camara is headed to the Bay Area for All-Star Weekend. He's been added to the Rising Stars Challenge alongside teammate Scoot Henderson. In the NFL, the Bucs have promoted passing game coordinator Josh Grizzard to offensive coordinator following Liam Cohen's departure for Jacksonville. For Tampa QB Baker Mayfield, it'll be his 8th coordinator in 8 pro seasons. And round 2 of the Pebble Beach Pro-Am wrapping up in California. Sepp Straka with a 3-shot lead on the field. He's 14 under par, going 7 under for the second day in a row. He is 3 shots ahead of Russell Henley and Cam Davis, who are both 11 under. For sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Ryan Buckley from 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Slam Dunk in Vegas is our nationwide contest for a chance to have the ultimate tournament viewing experience with 3 of your friends. More info at 1080thefan.com. Primetime on Football Friday, 1080 The Fan.
Professional football in America is a special game, a unique game. Played nowhere else on earth, it is a rare game. The men who play it make it so.
This is a Football Friday edition of Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
Brought to you by the Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app, follow 1080 The Fan, and enable push notifications to get the latest on the Ducks, Beavers, Blazers, and more.
That's gonna make the difference between winning and losing.
On 1080 The Fan.
All right, yes, we're trying to make you believe it's a football Friday and a football weekend, even though it's not.
It's the Pro Bowl.
It's the Pro Bowl flag football game.
That's right.
But next week is the Super Bowl, so
it is.
We'll get more into that. Next week.
Yeah.
Although we do have, as I've been teasing, we have perhaps the final NFL coach in place.
Yeah, we may have to wait a week until that gets finalized. Hint, hint.
Yeah, the Saints are likely going to hire Kellen Moore.
See, if I'm Kellen Moore, by the way,
from the Eagles.
This is easy for me to say because there's one of 32 jobs, and I don't have one of those, and I'm not getting offered, I don't know, $6, $7, $8 million, 4 or 5 years guaranteed, but that's a bad job. And Kellen Moore, you got to be careful, man. A lot of these coordinators, you get one shot, and I know he's young and he may recover, but this isn't going to go well in New Orleans. They're in a bad situation, and I just think you're seeing more guys like Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Brady. I mean, Kingsbury already had his washout, and maybe that's the Kellen Moore thing is, hey, I wash out, I'm young enough, I go rebound my image. But you look at like Spags. Spags washed out, and he was an older guy. Never got another crack. I mean, you sometimes only get one of these, and I just feel like that's a job that 75% of coaches in New Orleans are going to fail. And so I think if you're Kellen Moore, Philly's not going anywhere. That roster is loaded. And I just feel like you stick around and you run that thing another year or two, you're going to have a better job than what New Orleans is. But sometimes you strike while iron's hot. And if they offer you $40 million in guaranteed money, what does it really matter if you flame out? Like, you take your $40 million and then you go back to being a coordinator and you're done.
I feel like he was hotter a couple of years ago.
He was.
And now maybe it's his last chance.
Possible.
And he may think, well, I better take this.
Yeah.
You said 75% of the coaches in New Orleans will fail. Yeah. I would say 95% of the coaches in New Orleans will fail.
Sure. It's just it's a bad spot.
If you go back, Sean Payton, I mean, who before Sean Payton or even after Sean, I mean, give me another successful Saints coach.
It's been a while.
Ditka, I know, was there, but he lost.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Mora was there when they had some decent years when they had like Pat Swilling and Sam Mills and those defenses.
Yeah, but really, Peyton's the only coach who's ever done anything there.
Yeah.
I do feel that way.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing one.
I don't think you are.
So Jim Mora
They've got a pretty ugly history.
Jim Mora went 93-74. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He 0-4 in the playoffs, though.
Mm-hmm.
Playoffs?
4 playoff games.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
4 playoff games, he lost them all.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Peyton, 152-89, 9-8 in the playoffs, and of course a Super Bowl. Since then, they've had Aaron Cromer, Joe Vitt, Dennis Allen, and Darren Rizzi.
I'd ripped his ass, quite frankly.
Kellen Moore next. Before him, they had I forgot about Jim Haslett.
Yeah.
He went 2-1 in the 1-1 in the playoffs.
Okay.
45-51 overall. Ditka, Rick Venturi, there's Mora. Wade Phillips was there for 4 games. Bum Phillips, 27-42. Dick Stanful.
Oh, good old Dick.
Dick Nolan, Hank Stram went 7-21 there.
Yeah.
I mean, now we're back into the we're into the
It's
60s.
Peyton alone.
And
yes,
they were the Aints for a long time.
How did he do? So he just got Drew Brees.
He got Drew Brees.
That's really what it is.
Yeah. I just look at them and, you're $60 million in the hole. You got to clear $60 million just to get back to cap compliant.
Who's their GM?
Mickey Loomis, who's been there.
Oh my God,
since 2001.
You're kidding.
No, he's still there. And your best player, I mean, I guess are you going to still say it's Kamara, who is past his prime?
He's pretty long in the tooth.
In the tooth. I mean,
Olave, who gets banged up.
Olave, who's good, but again, you gave up, I think, 2 extra picks to go get him. And this is my point with they're constantly trading up to grab players in the draft that even when they end up being good players, I just don't think there's a sense of them building that team top to bottom. The best thing about them was their defense, and Dennis Allen just left. And remember, this is a team, even with Sean Payton, that over the last 12 to 15 years, multiple times they have been in the worst cap situation in NFL history. They have some of the most, every year they have some of the biggest dead money just albatrosses around their neck. So why is that going to change? So I've got a team now with it's a bad quarterback situation. Does anyone believe you're going anywhere with Derek Carr, right? So if it's not Derek Carr, and it is, what other options do you have to find a quarterback? You don't. And you just have a roster that isn't very good. It's just
they
not.
Don't have a good pick?
Yeah, I think this might be the first time in forever they actually have a full complement of picks. But do you have any faith that they're going to do it well? And by the way,
at least they haven't.
It's the weakest quarterback draft that we've seen in years. I think this is a bad situation, and I think it's a situation that Kellen Moore, if he takes this job, he will be fired in 2 years.
Yeah, but he's also going to get $10 million to do it.
Yeah.
And I'd do that.
And that's what I'm saying.
And he probably is saying, "Hey, I'm picking the quarterback." He's probably saying that.
I just don't know who you pick.
Well, I know, but it's better to go out with your own guy.
Yeah.
Than the one Mickey Loomis hands you.
Let's see what Derek Carr, if they can get out of this, because I got to take a look-see.
And I don't think Carr's,
he's not good.
No, but he's not awful.
No.
He's a fine guy to.
So you got 1 more year with
Let's
him.
put it this way. Kellen Moore can last more than 2 years with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
You go any worse than Derek Carr, he's not lasting more than 2 years.
Well, you can't get rid of him next year. It's a $50 million hit. And again, you're 60 in the hole already. So he's there next year. And if you move on from him the year after that, it's $28 million. So really, this is why it's crap. So you're already taking the worst cap situation in football, and you've tied yourself to Derek Carr for 1 more year guaranteed. And if you want to get rid of him the next year after that, you're putting yourself already in one of the worst cap situations in a roster that is riddled with holes. So there's just, I don't know. Good luck, Kellen. Take your money, and it's life-changing money. I get it.
Someone's got to take that bet.
Someone's got to take it.
And someone did.
And someone will. But I think it's interesting that Cliff Kingsbury knows he gets 1 more shot at this, and he ain't taking that job. Mike McCarthy looked at it and said, I'll wait till next year and try to get another job. Thanks for coming. And the disturbing one is Joe Brady, who cut his teeth, his first job in the NFL. The one where he made his name was in New Orleans with the same GM and the same owner. And Joe Brady looked at that and went, yeah, no.
You think Belichick would want that job over North Carolina?
No, because he wouldn't deal with Mickey Loomis. He'd kill him. The first time that Mickey Loomis wanted to give up a 3rd and a 5th to move up to draft a receiver in the first round, Bill would literally, he would stab him in the neck with a pencil.
I can't even imagine.
Because what Bill would say is, F you, we're trading back 3 rounds, and I'm going to draft 3 receivers, and they'll be crappy, but at least I'll have 3 of them, and I'll get 2 DBs. It's
already been addressed.
I just can't imagine that would ever work.
Is there a worse job in the NFL?
Right now?
Yeah. You've painted a pretty grim picture.
It's bad. It's a bad job.
Well, I know it's a bad job, but is there a worse job in the NFL right now?
You can make the argument Carolina's a crap job. Their owner is a mess, and if you believe Bryce Young has turned something around, maybe, but Carolina's a bad job. New Orleans is a bad job. I think Jacksonville is probably a bad job, although they got rid of Bulky. And maybe...
Hey, what was that all about?
Well, Duval is the county that Jacksonville's in, and so it's a...
That's kind of their like rallying cry for their fan base. Is they all chant Duval, and Liam Cohen sounded like a rube doing it.
Duval. Here we go.
How long does he last? A year? 2 years?
I don't know. There's people that are high on him, so we'll see. But I don't think that's a great job. You know, the other one that's a sneaky bad job that they don't win historically, and ownership just a mess is the... That's a sneaky...
Let's say the Raiders.
The Cardinals. The Cardinals isn't a good job.
Their ownership.
I've never heard one good thing from anyone about Arizona.
Was Bruce Arians criminally underrated?
Yes.
I think he was.
Yes, he was.
Although he did get Tom Brady to get the Super Bowl, but
Bruce Arians was
he won in Arizona.
He was a ass of galactic proportions, and he rubbed everyone the wrong way. And he's going to kill himself on the sidelines with health problems. Like he's
gone. He's done.
Yeah, he's strung so tight. But yes, Bruce Arians was way better than people realized.
All right, you want to hear Jordan Mailata mic'd up?
Yeah, this is good stuff.
He is of the Eagles.
He's doing bits.
Now, when you're out there running around on a football field, Jace, I picture the trash talking to be very blue.
Yes.
And not very original.
And very racist.
Sure.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what... I mean, we all have our visions of what the trash talk out there might be like.
Yeah, it's not good.
Is this your vision?
I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body?
That's Jordan Mailata.
He's doing Bane from Batman.
And who is he talking about? Or talking to, I mean.
He was talking to whoever number 32 is for the Commanders' defense. He was talking to a defender who he had just blocked the previous play. It looked like a DB, maybe a safety.
I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body?
If you can't get that, he's saying, I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body.
Yeah.
That's what Bane said. Bane said as he's breaking Batman's back.
Now that, he needs to be mic'd up more. If he's doing bits like that out there, I want more.
There's another bit that it doesn't sound as good as that one, but basically he pancaked somebody on Saquon Barkley's really long 60-yard touchdown run to like open that game, and he took down A.J. Brown in the process. He like pancaked A.J. Brown to pancake the defender, and he was just so sorry. He's screaming the whole way down the field how happy he is, and then afterwards he has to go find A.J. Brown to tell him he's sorry for knocking him down.
He's great. He's just I love people that are out that are having fun, you know, as opposed to just.
And he's the one that can sing, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he sing?
He's got a great voice.
He's got a Christmas album or something.
Yeah.
With Jason Kelsey.
Very talented, former rugby guy, and just enormous human being. Because you know, dude, you're just out there shouting the N-word at people, and you know, it's like.
Well, I wasn't.
Well, no, but just
you might have been.
In general. Yeah, it's just it's a lot of the same
let's
crap.
Get creative.
Yeah, get creative with it. You know, get out there doing Batman bits.
The guys are all copycats. You know, like what is this bit that they're doing now with Under the Nose? You know, like they're.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know what that is.
Buck, do you know what that is? The kids. You know,
I've seen that where they cover their face and then they go like this. I honestly think it looks like they're saying you stink. Like I'm covering up my nose because you smell bad. But I don't know if that's actually what it is.
Everybody does that one, or they do the sword.
Yeah.
And you know what I've learned from Will Ortner? That is not a sword. That is you putting a seatbelt over you because like it's the DB saying you're getting strapped in. Like you like I'm locking you up. I'm holding you down.
Okay.
The only one that I like that I see, and more people do it, but the one that I remember the first time I saw it was Muhammad for the Ducks. He started doing it when he was playing with the Huskies, where they do the square and then the thumbs down. I kind of enjoy that one.
And that means what?
Well, that he shut you down. Like you're in his no-fly zone, and then he gives you.
And I think that was even like I'm putting you in a box.
Putting you in a box,
something like that.
It gives you the thumb. I kind of enjoy the simple double thumbs down. I chuckle at that.
Did
one.
we like the Aaron Rodgers the belt?
Yeah, the belt one was decent. I hate
Cam Newton.
That's
Superman.
the douchiest one. And the feed me, the Ezekiel Elliott, feed me. Also the annoying first down point. I'm not a fan of that one. AJ Brown, everyone does it, you know.
Does he do the first down point?
He's a big first down pointer. It's like, dude, you caught a 6-yard out. Like, simmer down, all right? Like, for God's sakes.
Right.
Also, the other one that I can't stand is when the ball, like a DB has got a guy one-on-one and the receiver hasn't beat by a yard or two and it's just a bad ball. And
it's
then,
thrown like 10 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, and then the guy gets up and
nope,
like, dude,
nope.
What did you
Not
do?
up in here.
You didn't do anything. It's just a bad ball.
No fly zone.
Hey,
I got that.
You jump up and you Richard Sherman that son of a bitch. You knock that thing down. You get
You
up
should
and
celebrate.
You celebrate all you want, but you can't celebrate when the guy had separation on you and then, you just...
That terrible pass, I win.
Yeah, like what? Again, turn to the quarterback and give him the thumbs down. You can't... No, you didn't do anything.
Yeah, DBs are kind of obnoxious.
Yes.
In that way.
Yeah.
But so are receivers, too.
Yes.
I don't know who's more obnoxious.
Yeah. I played against Fred Smoot. Oh, my God. I can't even, he never stopped, ever. It was nonstop, and I can't repeat any of it. Steve Smith was this way for, the receiver. It didn't stop. It's just anger, just vile, just the worst things you can think of, just spewing out. And I always thought to myself, don't you get tired? Are you never?
They love it.
Are you never winded? I was always sucking air to talk trash. Plus, what am I going to say?
Fred Smoot.
Age
45.
Yeah. But he was a good DB for years in the NFL and just one of the truly elite trash talkers of all time. He had when he played us when he was at Mississippi State, that man did research. He had Mormon history like you wouldn't believe. That dude was referencing stuff where I was like, oh my God. I was like, are you LDS? The man does his work. He knew dudes he knew who was married. He knew who had kids. That dude was on point.
That impresses me.
Yeah, he didn't,
You know what else he was behind? He was a center figure in the Love Boat
That's
scandal.
right. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
You remember the whole thing about?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Viking pleasure cruise.
Running through the okra patch.
Yeah.
He had the purple.
Yeah.
Double.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. The apparatus. Bright McKinney, I think, was on that boat too.
It was Bryant McKinney who was running through the okra patch. That was what it was. That was a
Fred
sexual
Smoot
act.
what did Fred Smoot get arrested for? I see he's got a mugshot.
I think the
he got arrested for that.
Yeah, the Love Boat scandal. That was a big deal back.
I didn't think they got arrested. I thought they
What
just.
was the crime?
Well, I think prostitution.
Oh yeah. I just thought he was like. That's just
Here it says he got arrested, civil misdemeanor charge for failure to comply with a support obligation.
Oh.
The hell does that mean?
Like didn't pay child support?
Baby mama.
Oh, support. Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I'll tell you that. You sit in an NFL locker room, a lot of people that disagree with domestic violence orders and child support payments.
Right.
Definitely heard some uncomfortable conversations about that. To the point when the Buccaneers, we had a bit of a problem, and the NFL had to send down a crisis team, and we had to sit in a team meeting, and they explained to us that no matter what they do, you can't hit them, and you do have to pay them, and you can't take your kids and just leave. We had one guy that his baby mama was trying to leave the house in a car, so he took his truck and he ran over the car that she was in, and he got arrested. And he thought, well, what the hell? They were both my cars.
Yeah. Why are they arresting me?
Why are they arresting me? And I had to sit in a room and listen to someone explain to this gentleman
why you can't do that.
Why you can't run over a car while your partner and your child are in said car, even if they're both your cars.
I can guarantee you that guy still thinks that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So you didn't hear a lot of trash talk like this.
I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body?
And points for the delivery. Oh, your body! You really leaned
I
into
feel like
that.
there's multiple drops in there. I think the laugh is a drop, and the your spirit or your body it might be a drop.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
He does it. That's a good Bane. It's a good Tom Hardy
It's
impression.
solid.
I like it.
All right. Coming up next, the Blazers, your Blazers, win again.
I don't know what to make of this.
What do you mean you don't know what to make of this? It's stupid. Why are they doing it? Why are you on the fence about this?
You're a loser.
God. That's next on The Fan.
Magic Johnson. The home of
Find out what he's got going on here on this not so football-y weekend.
Even though it says Football Friday, I heard it in the open. I mean, what do you?
Well, that's what you do now. You just say things. It doesn't matter if they're true.
No,
people will believe them.
That is kind of.
It's Division I football.
Hey, we take our cues just like everyone else.
Yeah, yes,
from our fearless leaders.
Say what you want.
Hey, the Blazers won again.
Yeah, that is true.
And it makes me sad.
What now? Is it 7 of 8?
Yeah. Let's see. Six of seven. Now, back when, and I don't remember the exact game. I'm looking at their schedule. I was in here and getting ready for the show, and Danny was in here, and he was like, "Oh, the tank is on."
Yeah.
He said that.
Not so fast. Well, we all thought it was on.
Yes, because they lost by 115 points or something.
Yeah, they had reeled off.
Was it that Miami game?
They reeled off. They had lost to Dallas, Miami, Brooklyn, the Clippers, and the Rockets.
Yes.
All in a row. And
somewhere in there, we all thought the Blazers were flipping the switch.
The Clippers beat them 118-89. I mean, the Nets beat them 132-114. So it was like, I mean, here it comes.
Yeah, it might have been that Clippers game.
And now all of a sudden, to be fair to this win streak, okay?
Uh-oh.
Well,
nobody poops on a win streak quite like you.
No, they're playing better ball, but at the same time, they've beaten the Bulls, the Heat, Magic, Hornets, and the Magic again. Although the Bucks was a great win.
Great win.
That was a great win.
How many people lost their shorts betting that one? Because the Blazers won out in Milwaukee.
Yes.
And we thought Lillard coming back to Portland.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to run him out of there.
You would think. Milwaukee was coming off the second half of back-to-back. But, I mean, these last two games especially, they have looked – you can make the argument. I was sitting there last night, and I was flipping back and forth between the Ducks game, which don't.
Yeah, they were bad.
Oh, my
What happened to them?
What?
Come on, Dana.
I mean, they got
what do you think?
drilled. I mean, drilled. So – I gave up on that, and I flipped over to the Blazer game, and I'll try to check in. If I'm home and the Blazers are on, I try to check in and watch a little bit of the games. And I was like, oh, my God. I'm like, are they going to do it again? They look legitimate right now. And then you remember, it's not like the Magic are any good, but like if you want to get one of the top 6 worst records, or I guess the top 6 picks, those are the teams like Orlando that you need to lose to. Like, you're going to lose to the Oklahoma
Well, how many
City.
times are we going to say this? I think we're beyond
I
that.
think we're beyond the tank.
Dude, they're almost 10. They're only 10 games under 500.
Yeah.
So they're not.
No.
I mean.
Well, I mean, if this is what it is, and granted,
they're going to pick 12th.
You could see post All-Star break, post trade deadline. Maybe you move one of the two of the veterans. Maybe start shutting guys down. But it does appear right now that the tank is not on. That the tank is off. And
well, I don't think Cronin likes that.
I can't imagine that he does, because I know right now, like Blazer fan, and I always try to stay somewhat engaged with Blazer Twitter, and some of the Blazers Edge does a good job, and Danny does a great. There's a lot of good people that follow him, but this notion that this young core, you don't need another guy, and that the young core can just grow and develop,
that's the thing.
It is just so short-sighted. Like, how many times do we see Anthony Simon have over the last handful of years have a 4 or 5 game stretch, and people are like, oh my God, he's taken the leap. And we do that with Shaden, and we do it with Scoot. Now I do think
Shaden might even be worse because he hardly ever plays, and he has one good game, and we're like, he can be a cornerstone, and you're like, God.
I do think that Denny and I think that Tumani Kamara, I think they are what they are, and I think those are nice, solid building blocks, but we get so ahead of you go on a 6-game win streak, you beat one good team, and all of a sudden it's like, we don't need another top 3 pick. It's short-sighted beyond belief, but it kind of feels like that's just the path where this is headed.
So what do you do if you're Cronin now? You can't fire Chauncey, can you?
I mean, at the end of the
day,
day,
you want to lose, you better, because Chauncey's trying to win.
Well, he doesn't have a contract, so you can just let him go.
You can, but I don't think you can. You're playing too well.
And that's the thing. Then that's a way worse look for your image.
Yeah, now Cronin's stuck.
Yeah.
Because Chauncey wants to win, and they're winning.
Yeah. And
Cronin's like, damn it, I want him to lose. We all know he's not bringing Billups back next year.
I wouldn't think so.
But he can't fire him now because they've won 6 of 7.
He's going to Lovie Smith him.
What a mess.
They're going to end up with the 10th pick and another 19-year-old developmental project, and we're back to crossing our fingers that Scoot, Shaden, and Klingon are – and to be fair, right, since moving to the bench, both of those guys, especially Scoot, appears to have figured something out. But again,
I'm going to that lake.
We see guys go on 6-game runs quite a bit. And also, figuring something out and being a solid player ultimately leads you nowhere. It just ends up with a bunch of solid players that don't do anything.
Looking at a mock draft, if they're in the 7th spot, they could take Trey Johnson out of Texas. So how about that?
Is he that freshman?
Yes.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I saw him not too long ago. I think he's a little undersized though, isn't he?
6'6", 190.
Hey, that's perfect. They are long. They're a long team right now.
I don't know. I don't know. What a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know.
I just
because they're not okay. So
they're not going anywhere.
Exactly. You got to remember they're 19 and 29.
Yes, I know. That's the other thing.
That's the thing. So you got to get off Blazers. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but look, Blazers Twitter is going to try to convince you that there's some sort of hope.
Yeah.
There's not. They're
You're a
19
loser.
and 29. They suck. Their best path here is to be 1 in whatever that is, 48.
And it feels like it's not.
But they're
it
not
feels like
doing
that.
that.
It feels like that ship has sailed.
So now
they're playing hard. They're getting some development. And,
so now
and
they're
Ayton
back
cares
in
all of a sudden.
And they're back in no man's land. And they're going to trade Ayton, or he's gone.
I would hope so.
And he's not a part of the future. And they're going to trade. Isn't the deadline next week?
Yeah.
So Jeremy Grant will be gone, right?
It depends. This is the first year of the weird second apron, and some of those contracts might not be as movable as you think. So, I don't. It feels like we're back to running 2 timelines, and what sucks is your team for the first time in years shows promise and shows development and shows growth, and it's exciting with some of the young guys. Because to me, if you're winning games and you're winning them with Jeremy Grant and you're winning them with, some of the vets, whatever. But this run here has been sparked with the exception of Ayton, who's, again, seemingly cares all of a sudden and
dominating.
Don't bet on that sticking around.
Wait till that ice comes next
that
week.
Guy, exactly. That guy
He'll be
doesn't
out.
give 2 blanks. He is the most unreliable I give it in. The Phoenix Suns gave up Tumani Kamara just so that they would take Ayton's contract.
And yet Ayton's probably going to have a monster next 2 games because they're playing against the Suns, and he probably has a chip on his shoulder about how they thought he wasn't good enough.
But, at least you got Kamara out of that deal. But you have real promise from the young guys, and it does feel like it's counterproductive to what is in your best interest. I just feel like this is going to be viewed when it's all said and done as another lost season. And if you run it back with the same group, and let's say you even get growth and development out of your young guys. Okay, so next year, you're the 12th worst team? And maybe you're sniffing around the play-in? That's where we're at? My God, we were better than that for years, and we all got tired of that, where you were a legitimate playoff team. And now the goal is we're saying that it's good enough being maybe a play-in team, and that you no longer need a top 3 or 4 pick. And it just feels like it's a wasted season, and that's frustrating to me. But I get why a Blazer fan is excited, because there does appear to be real growth and progress. But there's a difference between growth and progress and having a real starting backcourt in the NBA. And because Scoot looks pretty good coming off the bench these last handful of games, all of a sudden that's the point guard of the future. I'm not buying that.
I'm going to that lake.
All right, In the News is coming up next, I think. Yes, we are In the News.
Yes, and we're late. Let's go.
We have another local creepo teacher.
Oh, boy.
To tell you about.
Damn creeps.
That's coming up next on The Fan. Here's Buck.
This is a Football Friday edition of Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
Brought to you by the Odyssey app.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the surging Portland Trail Blazers win again on Thursday, claiming their 6th victory in the last 7 games. They are off tonight. Portland has a 7-game homestand continuing at Saturday when they host the Phoenix Suns. They host the Suns for their next 2 games, both Saturday and Monday. Meanwhile, Blazers forward Tumani Kamara headed to the Bay Area on All-Star Weekend. He's been added to the Rising Stars Challenge alongside teammate Scoot Henderson. In the NFL, the Bucs have promoted passing game coordinator Josh Grizzard to offensive coordinator following Liam Cohen's departure to Jacksonville.
Duval.
For Tampa QB Baker Mayfield, it'll be his 8th coordinator in the last 8 seasons. And out at Pebble Beach, round 2 is in the books. Sepp Straka, your leader, all alone in first place. He's 14 under par after carding a 65 on consecutive days. He has a 3-shot lead over Russell Henley and Cam Davis, who are tied for second at 11 under par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body?
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan shows on the Odyssey app. The only way to rewind Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
Hey, have you been injured? Call someone who cares.
Because you do not.
Because I don't.
You don't.
But you know who does?
The advocates.
That's right.
That is true, because most of the time, let's be honest, if something bad happens to you, no one really cares.
Oh,
they may pretend to care. They'll give you like a like on Facebook or some praying hands. T's and P's, thoughts and prayers. Guess what thoughts and prayers get you? Yeah, jack squat. It's not paying your bills. It's not helping you out. The advocates, on the other hand, Ken and Donnie Donikin, they will do more than thoughts and prayers. They'll kick the other side square in the giblets and get you what you deserve.
Yeah, the other side is insurance companies, and we all know how many feel about insurance companies these days.
Don't people that even work for insurance companies hate insurance companies?
Well, I think deep down they know.
Yeah, they know.
How do they sleep at night? I don't know.
Large piles of money.
And drinks.
Yeah.
They probably drink a
And
lot.
Donikin's coming for those large piles of money.
Damn right.
For you.
Yeah. Put some in your pocket, baby.
So, hey, if you've been injured, you need more than a lawyer. You will not have to pay them unless they win your case.
Bingo.
You deserve an advocate. Go to their website, advocateslaw.com.
Is your financial
edition of Primetime with Isaac and Suk
Brought to you by the Odyssey app.
on 1080 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. We will talk sports coming up. But right now it is January 31, 2025. It is time for In the News. I'm your noted newsman. Hello, thank you. It is brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Today is Hell is Freezing Over Day.
Well, planes are falling out of the sky again, so...
And Portland might be freezing over.
No. I saw in the news they have a thing of how to check your elevation.
I saw that too.
Can we grow up a little bit about the weather here? Just a scooch.
What do you mean?
Can we act like adults?
Tell that to my wife.
For God's sake. Is she checking your elevation?
Nurse Nice got the chains ready.
Nurse Nice had to go shopping today. That's why I was a little late for our appointments.
Got to stock up for the weekend.
Got to stock up. I think it's going to be really bad.
Think you'll get snowed in out there?
No, I don't.
Does she?
Yes, she does.
When's the snow supposed to hit?
It isn't.
Never. It's going to hit the mountains
Wait, what
tonight,
sort of
maybe.
elevation are we at? Are we at mountain elevation right now?
Mountains are going to get 2 feet.
Yeah, the mountains are going to get hit. But down here in the valley, you might see a couple snowflakes.
Well, you better
Wintry
check.
mix.
Better go to
you
KG.
see all the time around here. Am I right?
Better go.
Damn libs.
You know what? Today I was at a Chick-fil-A, and I did feel like maybe there was a wintry flake that came down.
Yeah, well, call my wife. She'd be like, "I'll be right there." All right. Today is also Eat Brussels Sprouts Day. I love Brussels sprouts.
When done right. But I'm not just eating like raw Brussels sprouts. You know, JoJo makes a pretty good Brussels sprout. The little chicken place over here.
Yeah, JoJo's good.
Yeah, you got to be careful because like you can't have bland Brussels sprouts, but you also can't eat them dipped in like cream sauce and like bacon. Otherwise,
Well, I think you can.
Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of eating Brussels sprouts?
No.
No?
Why would you say that?
Well, because here's my thing about like, if you take a vegetable and you just make it really, really unhealthy and cover up the taste.
You still get a vegetable.
But you're negating the benefits.
So what?
Eating the vegetable.
I don't care. Do you think people care?
I would rather just then house a couple bland vegetables.
If I can play in the back-to-backs.
Sorry.
Well,
and then,
that's you.
And then move on to other delicious things.
Yeah, well, that's you.
Right.
I think how people feel about it, generally speaking, would be, hey, I'm getting my vegetables in, and it's delicious. Win-win.
And it's actually, I'm consuming more calories than I would be if I was eating chicken parm.
Nobody counts calorie. Who counts? Oh, wait.
A lot of people. Hey, as long as you're on Ozempic, what does it matter?
That's right. What was I going to say? Oh, we have another creep teacher. I got to tell you about.
True story. Sakes. What's this? It's
in freaking Vancouver.
Freaking Vancouver. What happened? Male, female? What are we?
Oh, like it's ever a female.
It is.
It is not.
I beg to differ.
Give me one.
Once in a while.
Dude,
once in a while they have sex with a high school boy.
That's what it was. That's usually when it happens. It's some younger female teachers having sex with high school boys.
And you call them creepy?
Well,
I don't.
That's still pretty creepy.
I mean, it's not great.
It's definitely not as bad, but it's still freaking gross.
But it doesn't go in the same catergory as the creep
dude.
No,
it doesn't.
What's creepy dude doing?
95% of them are 99.9% of them are dudes.
I know. Goes without saying.
Fort Vancouver High School.
I could have told you right there. That's all you need to know.
Clark College. He's a teacher at Fort Vancouver. He's a coach at Clark College. Alleged inappropriate behavior with female Clark athletes. His name is...
Wait. If that's if they're Clark College, then he's creepy, but he's legal creepy? Because Clark College, I mean...
he's a teacher at... Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I see what you're... Yeah.
Right?
Like if it's only the college girls...
Then we're just dealing with creepy, but not
we take him down.
Criminal.
Yeah, that's right. His name is Owen Fraser. He's 40 years old. He's been investigated on suspicion of communicating with a minor for immoral purposes and fourth-degree assault.
Oh, for God's sake.
According to a search warrant, no criminal charges will be referred, according to the police. I don't know why. In a stunning turn of events, he did not contact the Colombian or return their phone calls for comment.
Color me shocked.
I want to say like a year or two ago, one of my daughter's female teachers got arrested because she was sleeping with a male student. So,
yeah, we know it happens, but listen, come on, dude. If you're making the case for women versus men in these types of situations,
it's
not a fair fight.
Nah, it's not.
Women, generally speaking, are not creepos. Men are.
Just trying to be fair, trying to be balanced. Come on, Owen, be better. Why underage, dude? You're working right there at the college. You can just be creepy and not creepy and illegal. Come on.
Sooks, how to be creepy legally.
Well, look.
Yeah,
can
just
we all
work at a college.
Can we
nice
all,
advice.
Can we all agree that if you're going to be creepy, it's better just to be creepy and not illegal?
Well, if you're going to be creepy, just don't be creepy at all.
Well, that's... Creepy guys are going to be creepy.
Creeper's going to creep. I agree with that.
But at least creepy at college is just... Like some 19-year-old living with
the college kids don't want that either.
Living with their abnormal psych professor. At least that's
don't be creepy in your basement on the internet.
That's right.
I think that's how it starts.
So there's this bus driver named Levi, and he said that he's the one that told Vancouver police that there were multiple Clark students that came to him about Frazier acting inappropriately.
The trustworthy bus driver.
Levi for the win.
Boy, I would have thought that the bus driver was the one being creepy.
Or would be in on it.
And he said he reported it to Clark College as well.
Good job, Levi.
Yeah, way to go.
So there's an internal investigation.
Yeah, guess what? He did that. I think we can all agree.
4 female athletes listed in the affidavit.
Man, for God's sakes. He's sending nude photos. Stop sending nude photos. You're 40 years old.
If they want to see your wang, they'll let you know.
I promise you.
But who's even in charge of our penises, you know?
Yeah.
And also, who's in charge of your penis?
I kind of wanted to see the wang.
Maybe he could send it to you.
Vet it.
Yeah, yeah, but just guys out there, whether you're creepy or whether you're, whatever, just a woman can see a penis whenever she wants. She'll ask to see yours.
Yeah, that's right.
Scooby-Doo ghost penis mystery. Yeah,
she'll see yours without you even knowing she got you to show it.
You can't just be like, ha, here it is. Stop that. Stop it. Don't be Ted Kennedy, for God's sake.
In Salem man news, a man is facing a murder charge after he crashed his car while allegedly transporting the dead body of his former girlfriend. Bodies fall out of hearses.
Come again?
Tyler Andrew Holman, a 39-year-old man, lost control of his car in Independence.
Why did he have his dead girlfriend? He didn't kill her, did he?
Shortly before 6:30 a.m. Monday, deputies found the car and Holman along the rural road, and the injured driver was taken to a hospital to receive medical treatment. Deputies also found the body of a dead woman. The circumstances at the scene suggested she was not killed in the car accident. An autopsy later in the week revealed her name is Ashley. She had been killed by a gunshot.
Oh, for God's sakes.
They were previously in a romantic relationship. They've arrested Holman on a domestic violence assault charge.
Yeah, I would say that. It's not good.
Yeah, put him in jail. Apparently, he grabbed her and threw her down. She was afraid to go home. That case was dismissed in August. Police arrested him after he was released from Salem Hospital. He was booked on charges of second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Yeah. The investigation is ongoing.
It's not good. I'm guessing,
where do you think he was going?
Guessing to get rid of the body. I'm also guessing he's the one responsible with the bullet. Well, they're in Independence, right? I'm guessing, guess you can find places in Independence. A place known for its remoteness.
You think he's sitting there going, God, if I just hadn't wrecked.
Well, I mean, can I? If you've murdered someone and you're transporting the dead body,
take a few more precautions.
10 and 2, my man. Set the cruise control. There's no dead body speedometer out there. What are you doing? For heaven's sakes, you would think of all the times that you were going to drive as careful as possible. Transporting your victim would be that time. Guessing, though, decision making.
Well, and if he was going to be careful, he probably would have chosen to do that before he had to kill his girlfriend.
I don't know if he had to. I think that's
before he chose to.
Yeah, he chose to. It's like he was 4. He's like, I didn't want to, but
she made me. No,
had to. There's a buck over there, victim blaming.
Hey, whoa! I'm just saying, this guy's probably not in his right mind.
Buck over there saying that he had to do it. He's like, look, I didn't think it was a good thing, but he had to. You got to do what you got to do. Come on, Buck, be better.
I'll try. And also, who's in charge of your penis?
What is Oregon's most recognizable landmark? That's next on The Fan.
This is the Fans' Window into Sports, a view into today's top stories. Brought to you by Window Nation, online at windownation.com.
But I want somebody to get into it with Shaden every game. You know, we need it, he needs it. And every time he gets upset out there, it's happened another time. I think it was Dylan Brooks at one time this year. Every time it happens, it takes him to another level, you know. So I love a mad Shaden. You know, we're best like that.
Yeah, because, you know, one of the knocks on Shaden is he's a little too laid back. So maybe just before every game, pull a John Henderson, just slap him a couple times. Get him nice and pissed.
Yeah.
Remember that? John Henderson would want his strength and conditioning coach to just beat him up before he went out on the field.
Window into Sports brought to you by Window Nation. 60% off all window styles, 2 years interest-free financing. Schedule your estimate right now calling 866-90Nation or visiting windownation.com.
The definitive podcast for Oregon Ducks football fans is here. The program, A Ducks Podcast, is a deep dive on Ducks football with the coaches, the players, and your favorite Duck stars of the past. Hosted by Dusty Hara and former Duck star Cole Linehan.
And finally tonight on In the News, or today, whatever, I don't know. It feels late because it's been dark and dreary today.
Yeah.
Not sunny like it has been for 18 days.
My buddy today called me and he said, hot take, today is better than the previous days because because he said it wasn't as cold. And I said, that's
Nope.
the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Yeah, that's really
He
bad.
was trying to claim that like 50 and rainy is better than 39 and sunny. And I was like, you moron.
I'm glad you properly shamed him.
Oh, I did. I went at him hard.
That's a bad take.
What an idiot.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, just stupid.
But it was a little warmer.
It was.
But again, that's not the point.
It's also
Yesterday was a nicer day, and that's not close.
Gray, cold, and depressing.
Meanwhile, my wife's like, it's 52, it's going to snow. Baby, it's gotten warmer. No, it's going to snow.
Oh no, oh no.
Are you looking at the same app I am? Yes.
What's our elevation?
And finally, yes, Oregon Live was asking this question, and I think it's an interesting question. I don't know that there is a right or wrong answer here.
Oh, there is.
But they are asking the question, what is Oregon's most recognizable landmark?
So not Portland, Oregon.
Oregon. And I think there is only one correct answer. Well, there's not one correct answer. To me, there is one answer that stands above the other answers.
I would go, there's one that jumps to my mind too.
Okay, do we want to say them at the same time? Countdown?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Mount
Crater Lake.
Oh.
And I would have jumped in with Multnomah Falls.
Oh, wow.
Multnomah Falls.
Attractions? We're
Yeah.
talking attractions?
But that's up there for
Mount
sure.
Hood?
Well, I think more people probably go to see Multnomah
Yeah.
Falls than go to see Mount Hood.
Well, you can see Mount Hood all the time. I can see a crappy, not crappy, an underwhelming waterfall anywhere.
I'm not saying I think
Mount
it's the
Hood's
best. I just think
majestic.
it might be the thing that most people go to see.
Yeah, I think Buck's onto something. That may win. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't make it the best.
Yeah, we get it. You think it's overrated, but it's a very popular attraction. Probably the most popular attraction because it's easier to get to from Portland than, Crater Lake's down there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, how about all of us with a different answer?
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
The text line said they made an Oregon sign.
Yeah, I was going to
that's
say,
another one.
if it was Portland, then the Portland, Oregon Old Town sign,
Yeah.
it's not made in Oregon. It's isn't it? It says Old Town, right?
I think it says made in Portland, right?
You're talking about the stag sign?
The stag sign. I'm pretty sure it says Portland, Oregon, and then I think it says Old Town.
Yeah, I think that's right.
But I don't think it says made in Oregon.
No, it doesn't say made. It says Portland.
Yeah, it says Portland, Oregon, and then I think it says Old Town. But if you're saying Portland, that sign that's Portland.
Other submissions from the text line: Haystack Rock in Cannon Beach.
Yes.
Also, the Woodburn Outlets. Bring people from near and far.
Okay. But the Haystack Rock is a good one, too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I mean, if you're going top 5...
It's probably in there.
It's probably Crater Lake, Haystack Rock, Multnomah Falls. Maybe the Gorge. Although you could count Falls with the Gorge.
Yeah.
Just do a general. Yeah. And then...
the Rock is good. Welcome to
the Rock is a tourist
attraction.
The sign. Yeah.
And then probably Mary's Club.
Pittock Mansion.
Gosh. I don't know. Every day when I'm driving home and it's a head-on view, and on a nice day when you see Mount Hood, I don't know, that gets me every time. And there's so many 1,000 times in my life I've looked at that and thought, what a great place to live.
Mount Hood is beautiful.
Maybe because I just see it
particularly
every day.
with snow. Yeah, well, yeah,
and
it's
I
like
don't see all the others.
It draws your eye.
Yeah.
Particularly with its big bulge there. You can't miss it.
No, love a good bulge.
Kind of like you.
No.
But I'm trying to think of others that we're missing. I mean, there's others on this list, but they're not gonna. I mean, you're not getting up near.
But the Portland Stag sign is good.
Direct text from a buddy: the Tillamook Cheese Factory, over 1 million visitors a year.
Yeah,
really?
I mean, it's making a top 20, but not. Come on.
And again, not good, but does it draw the people? not good, but not.
Well, yeah. The question is most recognizable landmark. I don't think it's Tillamook.
The other one that gets me, and I know this is maybe a little, it's not as popular, but the other one that I've always just enjoyed when you see it, and I don't go there as much. I'm more of a Keller guy. I go see more stuff at the Keller, but the Schnitz, the Portland sign outside of the Schnitz is pretty good. Like, you instantly see that and you're like, I'm home. Like, it's a very comforting feeling to see that in my opinion.
Someone says Smith Rock.
Yeah.
Smith Rock is solid.
It's nice. Well, we've gotten nowhere.
No, we figured out nothing.
Well, no. Interesting combo nonetheless.
I still stand
Wait,
by
is there
my-
not an answer?
I stand by.
That's what I
it's
told
just
you.
an opinion.
It's everybody. It's like there's a lot.
Oh, I thought like people
and
had
that's
like
what
voted
they
on
were
it or
asking.
something.
They were saying there's so many cool things. Like, what is our most recognizable? I don't know. And they are doing a poll on Oregon Live. Do you want me to see if that? Let's see if they have.
Can we all agree though that Multnomah Falls isn't that impressive? Can we?
I mean, I like it.
But I understand
it's
you like
impressive.
it. But can we all agree it's not really impressive?
Well, it depends what.
I disagree with you.
Here's the thing. I think
Impressive,
to a
that's-
lot of people, a waterfall in general is impressive because you don't see a lot of waterfalls.
Waterfalls are super cool.
Okay, first off,
And that's
you
a cool
do,
one.
you do see a lot of waterfalls.
Well, you live in
It
Oregon.
depends on the person.
And it's not that.
I'm from Kansas, dude.
Well,
I don't see a lot of waterfalls. So when I see Multnomah Falls, I'm like, whoa!
That's pretty cool.
I'm jumping in, bro. And I did. They had to rescue me. Have you been rendered ceaseless?
Yeah, baby.
I'm just.
It's cool. I get it. You don't like it.
I-
Not everybody doesn't like it.
I'm not saying I don't like it.
You're trying to get your opinion validated, and no one here is going to do that for you.
It's not. There's no way
Okay.
you can say it's impressive.
Fine. Nice. Nice opinion. Don't care. I like it. I'm going there tomorrow. Damn it.
No, you're
I'm sorry.
Not
I
with the
wanna
snow
run.
coming in. Nurse Nice is never going to let that happen.
I'm going up there. I'm
No.
going to run.
Not on Nurse Nice's watch. You kidding me? That thing's probably going to be frozen solid, according to her.
All right, there's your in the news. January 31. Can you believe that? We're already through the first month of 2025. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's a little.
Do you believe that?
It's a little crazy.
Do you believe?
Do you believe?
So when we reconvene on Monday, it will be February 3rd. Unbelievable.
For hell's sakes.
We've got the Hot 5 at 5 coming up next. In it, we have sports news on the Fan.
The forecast calls for wet weather. It's time for Pub Beer's Wet January Report. Remember, dry January is fine, but don't judge people that need a beer with their football. Pub Beer, cheap fun.
If I can play in the back-to-backs, I would. I physically, yes, I can. But I work for the Pelicans. They have decided that based off the numbers, it's not smart to do that right now.
That's Zion.
Yeah, I just.
He's like, what do you want me to do?
If you want to
play?
if you want to just figure out why the NBA, in a nutshell, is losing viewers, I give you that right there.
Hey, dry January is fine, but don't judge people who need a beer with their football. Pub beer. Cheap fun.
Every year, as many as 19% of Americans
This is a Football Friday edition of Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
Brought to you by the Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app, follow 1080 The Fan, and enable push notifications to get the latest on the Ducks, Beavers, Blazers, and more.
On 1080 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Hope you're having a nice, juicy little Friday. The weather has moved in. It's raining.
Oh, no.
Excited.
But your sports bros are here for you. Rob, that's me. Big Sook's right over there.
Right here.
Oh, dude.
Ryan Buckley is here, but only for another couple of hours. He is taking his 40th birthday off on Monday. He will not be with us.
Coward. Swag wouldn't take his birthday off.
I tell you, I
know he wouldn't.
Many years ago, we had a segment about this, and I believe the audience widely panned the idea of a man taking his birthday off.
I understand that. I think it would be different if I worked a different shift, but I would like to be home with my family and children for dinner on my birthday.
We also found out, and I don't know if this is if I'm the only one that thought it was weird, but Buck at 40 still gets presents from his parents.
Yeah.
And I found that to be a little odd. Like there's 40 years old and your parents are sending gifts?
Yep, that's right.
I find that a little
Well,
strange.
is that any different than like Christmas?
Well, I find that to be a little weird too. Like you said you got gifts, but then you kind of went back and you said you got a card. A card is different than a gift. Cards, I think, are a little more universal, but gifts at 40?
Well,
I didn't make the rules.
It's good to be Buck.
It is good to be
He's
Buck.
not turning them down.
No, he is
I
not.
think I'm turning down this privilege. Get out of here.
Someone, YouTube, was it the YouTube chat that asked?
Yeah, this was Luke Vaughn over on YouTube. Said, I need to know which is most impressive in Oregon. I've seen it all, but need to know what Isaac and Suk think is the most impressive
So we were
attraction.
talking about the most, what was the word I used? The
Popular?
Oregon Live.
Popular? Iconic?
Most visited?
Recognizable.
Recognizable.
Oregon Live was asking, what is the most recognizable landmark in Oregon? And we went through that. He is asking what we think are the best landmarks in Oregon. Is that
most impressive?
Most impressive. I'm going to go Oregon Coast on you.
Yeah, the Oregon Coast is
I think
hard
the
to
Oregon,
beat.
the Oregon Coast is one of the most beautiful places in all of the land. And
water.
I don't know why I said it that
water.
way. But I tell you what, it never gets old. I'm always stunned at how unincorporated it is. It blows me away that really there's really nobody out there, but I guess that's part of the charm is it's just rural and beautiful, and I love it. I think the Oregon Coast is I can't get enough of the Oregon Coast.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going with.
I'm not going to, I'm still saying Mount Hood, again, because you said what's the most impressive. I just that on a beautiful day with the snow and when like the sun is setting or rising above it, that is home for me. But Crater Lake, also, if you ever get out there, Crater Lake it's
amazing.
Is stunning.
I've never been.
You never been to Crater Lake? Yeah, you got to get there.
It's a ways away, but it's worth going.
It is worth going, but can I?
What's up?
This is my Multnomah Falls.
It's wonderful. I would never poop on Crater Lake or in Crater Lake.
But you're about to.
Well, there's nothing. You can't do anything there.
No.
So you just go and see it,
you
and
just
that's
see
doing it,
and you sit and look at it.
Yeah.
And it is.
Are there hiking trails around it?
I think there are, but you can't go down in it. I mean, some people do because they're idiots, but you're not supposed to, right? So you just kind of and there's nothing around.
Yeah.
It's just whereas the coast,
yeah,
I can just sit and have a delicious cocktail and
the coast is great.
Walk down the beach and surf if I want. I can go hiking.
You surfing on the Oregon coast. You
my
surfing, period.
You surfing or hiking for
I
that
can
matter.
golf. I mean, none of that stuff I can do at Crater Lake.
No.
So it loses points in that regard for me.
I understand.
But it is beautiful.
Yeah. I also, and I know it's kind of a broader,
and isn't it like the deepest lake in the
I do. I think it's, yeah, you are
You
right.
do?
I think it
You
is
do
either
that?
the deepest or it's right there. There is something, too, about driving up the gorge that also is very warm and fuzzy.
Gorgeous, too.
Gorgeous.
Is that why they call Hey!
The Gorgeous Gorge.
Do you remember Gorgeous George?
I do remember Gorgeous George.
Boy, are we sidetracked. Joey Harrington in 15 minutes. Up next, a segment entitled Should He Be Mad? But right now, the Hot 5 at 5:15.
Hot topics, hot opinions,
Oh, golly, I'm hot today.
and hot air. It's time for the Hot 5 at 5.
That's hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 on Primetime with Isaac and Sue.
No, I mean it. That's very hot.
The Hot 5 at 5 with Isaac and Sue. Brought to you on The Fan by Victor Rico's Mexican Food. Discover Victor Rico's new savory menu items. Order in store, online, or get it delivered straight to your door at victorricos.com.
I was wondering what you'd break first, your spirit or your body?
Number 5.
You ask, you shall receive.
Talk to me, Goose. Talk
golf
to me.
scores.
Oh, I was just thinking to myself, man, I need some golf scores.
Well, you know, they elevated the AT&T Pro-Am this year. So
a
all the
signature event.
Yeah, all the big boys are playing. Sepp Straka is your leader after 2 rounds at Pebble Beach. 14 under. Russell Henley, 11 under. Cam Davis, 11 under. Tony Finau among those 10 under. I'm looking here. Rory was... where's Rory at? He's 8 under. He's playing. Scheffler's 7 under.
All right. Thank you for that.
How do you feel about that? Matsuyama, 5 under.
That's my guy.
That's your guy. You like him.
Now we're talking.
Gary Woodland, Rock Chalk, 4 under. Come on. Let's go all the way to the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, who's the loser?
Well,
Ludwig withdrew.
Ludwig
Big
is
Swede.
he's sick again.
He's got issues. He's got the trots.
And Wyndham Clark having kind of a rough start to the year. He's second to last, behind or just ahead of Brendan Todd.
No good.
Of Brendan Todd fame.
Number 4.
The Pelicans reached out to the Heat this week about a Jimmy Butler for Brandon Ingram trade. New Orleans, they are not willing to max out Ingram, so they want his ass out of there.
Yeah.
Your Zers won again last night. That is 6 of 7.
Break them up.
Next 2 games will be here against the Suns tomorrow and Monday.
At this point, is the tank officially off? It feels like the tank is off.
I think as long as Chauncey is coach, he's sticking it to him.
They're going to, like, Galuli Chaunce? Can they, like, take him out?
I think they might Galuli Chaunce.
They can't. You can't fire him now. There's no way.
I think you can.
When they're rolling like
I'd
this?
like to see some balls on Joe Cronin. Fire his ass. Get a coach in there that'll lose.
It's not happening, man.
You have a real major league situation brewing here.
You really do.
They're like losing. John's like, nope, not happening.
Only one thing left to do, win the whole damn thing.
I am hearing, by the way.
What are you hearing?
Well, our text line sources are saying that there is a trail down to the lake at Crater Lake, and you can jump in there and take boat rides and stuff. I didn't know that. If that's true, multiple people are saying it.
Now we're bumping up
so
Crater Lake?
So it must be true.
Yeah.
I did not know that about Crater Lake.
Well, let's give Crater
But no, there's still nothing around there. It's like, you know.
You got to be into the outdoors.
Yeah.
You got to be
somebody
like
said,
the
you
nook
gotta
of
be,
the woods.
You got to be camping around
and that's not you.
Wearing your big hiking boots.
Yeah, you're not doing
with your shorts, your little hat.
I would like to think that you're wearing your pants that zip off at the bottom in a true Oregonian fashion.
Oh, yeah, the convertible pants.
Is it hot? Don't worry about it. Let me just zip my pants off here.
Old-ass Max Scherzer is still hanging around. He signs with the Blue Jays, 1 year, $15 million. He is 40 years old. And the Mariners bring back third baseman Jorge Polanco on a 1-year deal.
The final piece.
Worth close to $8 million. He was hitting just .213
Hang the banner
last season, but they want him back.
What exactly are the Mariners doing this offseason again? We're going to hear about how they're going all in and 54%.
It's called Schultze.
Ask him about the Polanco news.
Yeah, Schultze does a Mariners podcast, right?
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I wasn't aware.
You were. You just chose not to remember.
That's not true.
Because you don't care about Schultze.
No, I know he does a YouTube thing about unboxing cards. I know that. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. Because I care about Schultze.
Schultze.
14 NBA All-Star reserves have been announced. The East list includes Damian Lillard, Jaylen Brown, and Pascal Siakam. The West bench, headlined by Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Davis, and Anthony Edwards. The West is rounded out by James Harden, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Williams, and Alperen Sengun. Who's this guy?
He's probably the best player on the Rockets, who are somehow second in the West.
Yeah, the Rockets somehow were cooking.
I had no idea until last night when Devin Booker was bitching about not being on the team that the Rockets are second in the West.
Yeah. That Thompson kid is rolling.
Yeah, Amon Thompson.
Yeah, the
really
Rockets are good.
Last 4 in the East are Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, and Tyler Hero. You had 6 first-timers in all. The top snubs, so they say, Trae Young, who leads the league in assists. No LaMelo Ball is averaging 28 and 7.
He's averaging more than both those starting guards.
And no Devin Booker, who besides Jokic is the only player in the top 15 in scoring and assists.
Yeah, Ball's good. He gets the rep where he just kind of plays garbage style that doesn't do anything, like empty, hollow numbers.
Well, his team sucks.
His team sucks too, yeah.
Ooh, this just in. Number 1 in the Hot 5 at 5. Blazers have hired Doug Gottlieb as their new head coach.
He lost another one, by the way.
No way.
2 and 21 now.
18 in a row for Gottlieb. Hey, more importantly, though, they're doing it his way. You're going to play Gottlieb's way or no way?
They're playing some kind of way.
The Saints have told candidates that they will not be making a head coaching hire until after the Super Bowl, which means that they have their man, and it is
Steve Spagnuolo. Oh, no.
Well, actually, it could have been Steve Spagnuolo. Yeah. But it's not. There is signaling that their man is Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. And they say, barring a breakdown in any talks, he will be the guy in New Orleans.
This, by the way, no one wants that job. It's a terrible job.
I'd take it.
Kellen Moore is going to take it. He'll be fired in 2 years. The part that scares me...
The Rob theory?
Is, yes.
Going to make you bet the Chiefs, isn't it?
I need Philadelphia to beat the Chiefs, and I do not like at all that Kellen Moore, I saw a report today that he's already putting together his staff. Kellen, we need all hands on deck to stop the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, no, not happening, dude.
No.
Nobody stops the Chiefs.
No, lay it off. 3 in a row.
All right, Victorico's Mexican food, a hit with the whole family. Order in-store, online, or delivered to your door at victoricos.com. When you think of flavor, think of Victor Rico's. Should he be mad? Next on The Fan.
Let's go, Birds!
Yeah.
And also Tom Brady hates Bill Belichick. So you can see how this all worked out.
But
But I can see Belichick going, "What the hell, man?"
Well, and that was the scuttlebutt is would he leave if Tom called? Well, apparently Tom didn't call.
Yeah.
It's one of those I'm sure everyone wants to be wanted. And when you're the best of all time at something and that no one 32 teams don't want you and you're the best to ever do it, that stings. You imagine old Nick Saban, who again is the Bill Belichick of college football. You imagine Nick Saban announcing, "Hey, I want to come back to college football," and no one.
Yeah, I think the difference is that you have to be self-aware enough to know what adjustments you have to make.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just that you're old. It's not, because Pete Carroll just got a job. So it's not just age. You have to be aware of why nobody wants you. It's not because you're not a great coach.
Yeah.
So if you're not aware of that and you're not willing to make those changes like Pete was, then it's on you.
Yeah. Well, then you just go to North Carolina. You can do whatever the hell you want.
And that's part of why he went there, right?
Yeah.
Was he said that he didn't want to answer to an owner. He just wants to build it his own way.
Yeah.
And so if he's that hard-headed, maybe it's better that he's in college.
Hot theory. We talked about this when you were gone, Rob. Do you remember, Suk, that Belichick said he thought we should rename the Lombardi Trophy the Brady Trophy?
Yeah, maybe that's a little.
Was he just trying to get into the Raiders
It's
building?
possible. Look, we've all kissed a little ass, and then
Bill doesn't seem like much of an ass kisser, but here he is.
Well, again, I don't think Bill has had to kiss ass in a long time, and maybe he's got to smooch a little bit. I still think it's awkward if you're North Carolina knowing that your coach doesn't want to be there. He's only there because no one in the NFL wants him.
It's a lot of information, so.
It is a lot of information.
By the way, you signed up for the Tom Brady newsletter that's coming out?
There's a Tom Brady newsletter?
That's right.
What is it, something about like how to stretch and not eat meat and live a really boring life?
Huh. Well, as any good newsletter would be, yeah, probably.
No.
I mean, it's got all of that.
You got to be careful.
Newsletters have everything.
I have unsubscribed 17 times. You know what I still get? The McConaughey newsletter. And I like Matthew McConaughey.
He has a newsletter.
I get it.
So it's email.
Yes. I get it all the time. And it doesn't matter how many times you click unsubscribe, it's there in my box.
Yeah,
the last one told me that Tony Robbins has a free event, and you never miss a Tony Robbins event.
Not if it's free. Where is it?
I don't. Let me pull it up here
for
you.
Do not send me that.
Well, why is Matthew McConaughey sending me letters about
you signed up
Tony Robbins?
Because
you gotta keep living, man.
You
LIVIN
signed up to listen to him. What was he talking about that one day?
Yeah,
he was doing some seminar that Suk was interested in.
No, we were doing it for the show. Remember?
Yeah, but what was he talking about?
It was this. He had
how to be good at life.
His program, like how to be good at life.
Yeah, well, you signed up for it. I did not.
Yeah, did you just want to see what it was that he was selling exactly, or what the McConaughey vision is, kind of?
It was a big thing where McConaughey had he was doing a massive media tour, like promotion thing, and they were going to do a live event.
That's right.
And so, but the only way that you could watch it was to sign up for the free, whatever. And so I was like, fine, I'll sign up and see what it is. And I figured I'd sign up and then I would just unsubscribe. Wrong. You can't unsubscribe from it. Look, this is in the last month alone. Like, they just keep coming.
Better you than me.
Yeah.
So the Tom Brady newsletter, you can find out what he really thinks about leadership, business, media, health, and, yes, football.
By the way, Jason, do you know what we've learned after helping nearly 2 million people find and achieve their more thorough art of living, LIVIN? Never, ever miss Tony events. That's what we've learned.
Hey, I've had a buddy that went to a Tony Robbins thing, and he said he was great.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, that guy's like the greatest motivational speaker
There's
of all
a reason
time.
he has a small empire.
Something.
Like, he's figured something out.
But anyway, Brady insinuating that he has not been telling us what he really thinks all this time. That hurts me.
Oh.
We can only find out what he really thinks by signing up for his newsletter.
Freaking Tom. Is it free?
Doubt it.
Even if you could live your best life, but you had to live life like Tom Brady, would you do
Hey,
it?
Red Danny!
Could you say that again?
All right. You can live your best life. It is be your best life. It's going to enrich you in all areas. Relationship, work, you're going to be happier, all of it. I guarantee you, your life will be better than it is right now. But you got to live like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You're doing it?
Sure.
Really?
I think he's got a great life.
You're waking up at like 4:30 in the morning to do whatever god-awful calisthenics thing he has. You're journaling. You're eating nothing.
Journaling, yes.
You're doing nothing but his weird berry shakes, all that.
Can I try it?
No.
Journaling sounded very appealing to you.
What?
You got very excited about journaling.
Yeah, well, I'm a journalist. I mean,
do you do gratitude journals?
You want to live that Tom Brady life? Because I do not. It sounds
I do expressive
awful.
writing. No, I think his life is pretty rad.
You don't get Tom Brady's life. You get a better version of your life, and you still have to do all the Tom.
So basically, a life with discipline and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in.
Begrudgingly.
I could use that.
And yet you're not. Otherwise, you'd be signing up for the McConaughey letter, and you're not.
Yeah,
You're full of it.
That guy's no Tom Brady.
You lie. You have no discipline.
Hello there.
I'm going to get the Tom Brady newsletter.
No, you're not.
I might become Tom Brady.
Do it.
And then you'll be bitching about not being able to unsubscribe.
Probably. We got to get Joey in here. We're way behind. Joey Harrington talks football. Next, here's Buck.
This is a Football Friday edition of Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
Brought to you by the Odyssey app.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
Brian Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, the surging Portland Trail Blazers win again Thursday, claiming their 6th victory in the last 7 games. They are off tonight. The Portland's 7-game homestand continues on Saturday when they host the Phoenix Suns. Meanwhile, Blazers forward Toumani Camara headed to the Bay Area on All-Star Weekend. He's been added to the Rising Stars Challenge alongside teammate Scoot Henderson. In the NFL, the Bucs have promoted passing game coordinator Josh Grizzard to offensive coordinator following Liam Cohen's departure to Jacksonville. For Tampa, Baker Mayfield will be on his 8th offensive coordinator in 8 seasons in the league. Round 2 out of the Pebble Beach Pro-Am sees Sepp Straka atop the leaderboard. He is 14 under par, 3 shots clear of the field. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley from 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
It's The Fan on FM. Go to 99.5 FM HD2 and enjoy high def 1080 The Fan. It's time for Who's Leading the Charge? A look under the hood at the coaches, players, and teams getting it done. Brought to you by Battery Exchange.
James controlling the possession. Here he goes! Listen to the crowd. Standing ovation.
That is a clip of NBA star Bronny James.
NBA player.
NBA
Did he score?
Superstar.
And one, baby!
Wow. Hey, you didn't hear the clip?
Is he averaging
standing O?
Is he averaging 0.6? I think he's averaging like 0.3, 0.6, something like that a game.
Better than you.
That is better than me. NBA star Bronny James.
Battery Exchange. Mention code BXT10 at checkout for 10% off your entire purchase this month online at batteryexchange.com.
Hey, it's Dusty. Victor Rico's just dropped new menu items. Restaurant quality, made fresh, and served fast. Plus, they're open late. So whenever hunger hits, Victor Rico's is ready. Trust me, it's delicious. Visit them in store or order online at victorricos.com for takeout or delivery.
you sports sad?
Wait, what? Am I? Oh, sports sad. I said you sports dad. I was like, well, I've got kids and I like sports. Am I sports sad? No, I'm not actually.
Why not?
Because I mean, I don't. The NFL just doesn't really do it for me, if I'm being honest. Right? I was sports sad after the not really after the college. After Oregon got knocked out, I was sports sad.
Yeah.
Right. College football is my football happy place. But I'm going to be honest. My sports viewing pleasure has increased exponentially with the addition of the global football. Right? So whereas some may look at it and say, well, Super Bowl's this Sunday, and so I guess it's done, and we're not gonna get any more football anymore. Well, you know what? I still have Saturdays and Sundays all the way till like May to have something to watch in the morning.
Yeah, you got the footy.
And then I was like, then you're into then you're into Masters and U.S. Open and Wimbledon and NBA playoffs start coming around. So it's like that lull, that usual kind of like January, February time when you're waiting for the NBA to really matter. I got that filled, so I'm doing okay.
Well, that's good then. Because a lot of people after the Super Bowl, the hangover is real. You got to pay attention you got to pay attention to your kids and spend time with the wife. I mean, it's rough. It's rough out there.
Does playing?
I was in that world. Until my kids introduced me to the global football, and that has really amplified my year-round sport viewing pleasure.
Yeah, that's good. Did playing sports at a very high level hurt your fandom?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I don't. People say, "Who do you root for?" I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't root for.
You've been there.
I would follow players, right? I rooted for the Saints when Drew was still playing. I root for players.
Yeah.
I root for the Broncos because of Bo. I root for the Chargers because of Herbert. That's where my allegiances or my fandom lies. I rooted and still do. I mean, I'm always going to be a Blazer fan. I'm a bit frustrated right now. I'm on one of my 2 breaks in my lifetime from Blazer fandom, but I have a hard time having it truly take over my world, my life, having been on that other side, where it's like, if I didn't watch the game, there's going to be another one.
When you guys, when you played the first 3 Super Bowls, I know you said last week that you were rooting against the Chiefs. You didn't want to see the Chiefs do it again. So they've kind of got this Patriots thing about them now where they're just too good and everybody wants them to lose. When you were in the league, did you hate the Patriots as fans did?
No.
Why not?
No, not at all. Because I knew how hard it was.
Yeah.
I knew how I couldn't even get to the playoffs, let alone make 13 straight AFC championship games. I mean, it was what they were able to accomplish is truly unfathomable. And to see what Kansas City has started is it's phenomenal. I respect the hell out of it. And when I was playing, I didn't hate it because you got to go beat them. And it was just I don't know. I actually kind of I enjoyed watching it with the Patriots. Now that I'm out of it, I just want to see somebody new.
Yeah, I'm with that. Like, I appreciate watching excellence. And like, I didn't mind the Patriots, but there's something about the Chiefs. I don't know. And I don't know why, because it's like not like Belichick was the most likable guy in the world. I don't know. Maybe it's just that. I'm with you. Maybe you just want to see something. You want to see something new. Coverage of it can be a bit much for me too. Like maybe that's what is just the kind of the oversaturation, like with Kelsey and Mahomes. It's just it's a lot, and I'm ready for something different.
How are you with Taylor? You think so? I've heard that Kelsey is going to win the MVP, retire on stage, and then propose to Taylor.
I'm in.
It would break the internet.
I was going to say, is that part of it for you?
Like, it's funny is that the Taylor Swift thing is my least. That doesn't bother me at all. Like they show her for like 30 seconds. Like it's weird. I know a lot of guys get all like Taylor Swift. That's just the least part of it for me. There's just something about, I can't put my finger on it. I guess, it's the same thing with Duke basketball, or I don't know, whether the Lakers or the Yankees or whatever. I just think there's times where you don't really know why. I just find myself watching Kansas City and rooting against them. I don't mean to. I just can't help it. When I sit down, because I'm with you, I don't have a team. I don't have any sort of big rooting interest. I just know when I watch the Chiefs play, I root for them to lose. I was watching them play the Broncos this year, and that field goal gets blocked at the end of the game, and I'm like, oh, for Pete's sakes. I'm like, really? Like, whereas I should be like, oh my God, that's what championships do. They steal wins. But like I was sitting there being like, you got to be freaking kidding me. They just find ways to do it, and it kind of frustrates me, and I have no reason why.
Yeah,
I love them.
You're all Chiefs, all because you probably gamble on them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like the best bet in sports, and people keep betting against them.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. One of us bet against them against the
God,
Bills.
all they do is win.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a very important question, Joey Harrington, here on the Fan 1080 Sports. Okay, very important. I saw that Jalen Hurts says, "Roll Sooners." Yeah, he says, "Roll Sooners."
Oh, combining the Roll Tide and Boomer Sooner.
Exactly.
Oh.
So this raises a very important question that you will be the first to answer in the era of the transfer portal. Where are these players from? Like, what school? Because I feel like Boomer Sooner does not want to root for Jalen Hurts. I feel like he's an Alabama guy. To me,
yeah.
Well, he was at Alabama longer.
Auburn doesn't root for Bo Nix, I guarantee it.
Well, there's that. But is Bo Nix is Dylan Gabriel? Is he a Sooner, or is he a Duck? Is it where they played last, or is it where they played the longest? Is it where they graduated from? Is it who they chose first? Joey, you must answer this question.
Well, who does Russell Wilson claim?
See, I'm going to say he's an NC State guy.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was only 1 year at Wisconsin, but he went to the Rose Bowl at Wisconsin.
Yeah, but we were at Oregon.
But I was sitting there thinking, like, where did he play before Wisconsin? Like, I knew it was somewhere. I was like, it wasn't Maryland. It was somewhere over there. But I don't know. I almost feel like it's becoming your last stop.
Yeah. Well, did you see Dylan Gabriel at the Senior Bowl? Did you see his helmet?
No.
He made one. So I'm assuming he had Oregon make him one. So he got, because normally guys will trade stickers, but Gabriel got his own helmet. He did a matte black helmet. And on one side, it's the Duck Wings, the Oklahoma OU. And then he's got a Central Florida stripe down the middle of it. And then the Central Florida logo on the kind of the tail of it. He made a custom helmet simply for the Shrine Game with equal parts of all three schools.
I can't get behind that.
Because he was 3 years at Central Florida, 2 years at Oklahoma, 1 year at Oregon.
Okay, but so why can't you get behind that?
Because I think that's he's trying to be nice.
Yeah. You pick your fave?
I think there's one. Yes, I do. Well, this was the question. You can say, this is why I'm asking the great Joey Harrington. Only you can answer questions like this. It's a very, very deep question. So I'll go with what you say on this, but my inclination is there is one. One school. And I think it has to do with who you chose first, certainly how long you stayed. Now, if you choose Oklahoma and you leave after a year and you spend 3 years at Alabama and you graduate from Alabama, that's different. But Jalen Hurts went 3 years at Alabama, graduated from Alabama. He's from Alabama. And I think Dylan Gabriel, who graduated from Oklahoma, is a Boomer Sooner. That's what I think.
I'm pausing because I'm trying to think through this.
Well, like I said, existential question.
Okay, so there is a difference. As I'm thinking through this, there is a difference between Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel for me.
Because Bo got run out, kind of?
Let's hear.
No, because Bo had 2 seasons here.
Yeah.
Right? There was, and I know it was, he had the option to, but if you think of a guy who, I'm trying to put it in some sort of context that, you can compare apples to apples. If you think of a guy who signed with the school, right? So me, for instance, if I go to Oregon, I redshirt the first year, all right? Next year I'm sitting behind Akili. The third year, A.J. Feely and I compete for this spot, and A.J. got it. All right, A.J. started the season. What if A.J. had played his next 2 years? And I didn't see the field but for 1 year at Oregon. Right? There seems to be a difference for me. Like, Bo feels like a guy who, and I know that he didn't, but it was like, oh yeah, Bo's been here and he worked through and got a chance to play 2 years at the end. There's something about just that 1 year that is difficult for me to truly say, oh yeah, he's a guy. But if you got 2, then it just feels more normal. I don't know.
I tend to agree.
I agree with
I
that.
feel the 1 year is weird.
It's a hired gun type of thing.
It's a mercenary sort of thing. I'm with you. And not, by the way, no shame to anyone. Hey, get the bag, man. If someone's going to give you $1 million or $2 million, and you get a chance to play for the national title, you go do it. But I'm with you. I have a hard time claiming someone that was there for 1 year as truly one of my own. Even a one and done basketball guy like Kevin Durant or LaMarcus Aldridge at Texas. I mean, I know they went to Texas and that's the only place they went, but are they Longhorn legends? It's like, I think that's weird. One year at a place, I do not think that cements you.
So
I would agree with that.
Okay.
You have to have okay, but then here's the question. Okay, do we have to go to break? Was that the okay?
We're getting close. Let's.
Okay.
What do you got?
We'll talk about it when we come back.
Well, I have
we'll
I have
come
trivia.
back to it.
I have trivia for you.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Well, now I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe give me the break to remember what it was.
Okay. Well, by the way, by this theory, and I think we all agree on what we're getting somewhere on this.
Yeah.
By this theory, Jalen Hurts is a Sooner. Is Alabama.
He's Crimson Tide.
And Dylan Gabriel is a Sooner.
I think he was only at Oklahoma 1 year, though. He's a Central Florida Knight is what he is.
I think he was there more than 1 year.
I don't think so. I think he was only at Oklahoma 1 year. I'll look it up.
Okay. Well, we'll take a break. We have the great Joseph Harrington here with us, courtesy of Mods PDX. Quarterback trivia pertaining to the Super Bowl is next on The Fan.
It's time for a Ducks Report, the inside story on Oregon athletics. Brought to you by Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
You've been saying it's not Football Friday. You know what tomorrow is? The Senior Bowl. Dylan Gabriel, Tez Johnson, Jeffrey Bassa. Check them out. 11:30, NFL Network.
Wasn't Suk just talking about his Senior Bowl, Gabriel's Senior Bowl helmet?
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that insinuated that they had already
No,
played.
they posted it on social media. Like, he's wearing it this week in all the practices. The game is tomorrow at 11:30. So you can see that helmet live in action.
What a treat for all of us.
Yes.
Mods PDX, the future of building is here.
A long season gets longer. Scoops.
not important to the most important thing with me asking that was I just had to ask the question. We had to think this through. And if we settle on, hey, you don't have to choose, I'm okay with that. As you're our leader.
And the weird thing is, I think in pros, it's easy because it's just what you think. Like, you think of Jerry Rice, it's easy. You think of Ken Griffey Jr., you think of the Mariners, not the Reds. College, it's harder because it's,
Yeah, you want to associate the guy with the school because of our school pride.
But there's such a small time, whereas in the pros, you just naturally have an inclination because it's a longer period of time and you think about a guy with one team.
Yeah.
Well, and historically, you haven't been able to have multiple teams.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
That's changing. That's gone. And
So,
we're going to have to come to the realization that guys can have multiple schools. They can't say roll sooner. That's stupid. And if they were only there, if he was only there for 1 year, then he doesn't get the sooner. He only gets the roll. But
well, he was only there 1 year.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jalen Hurts is a putz.
Yeah.
That's what we've learned here.
Roll Tide.
And Gabriel is classy because he made his own
I,
helmet.
I didn't say that he was a putz.
Well, I
said
did.
that he just can't call. Okay, well, fine.
That's Rob.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah. Okay, here's the trivia. Are you ready? This is Super Bowl quarterback trivia. As you know, we have Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts meeting in the Super Bowl again. It is a rematch.
Okay.
How many times have the same two quarterbacks met in the Super Bowl more than once? And who were they?
I got one off the top of my head.
Hint, it's not as many as you think.
Yeah. There's one that's
Who
easy
is the quarter?
Immediately pops in my head.
Okay, go ahead. Fire away.
Jim Kelly and Troy Aikman.
Yep. Troy Aikman beat Jim Kelly in back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yep. Who was? Oh no! Wait, no. Was Joe Namath Super Bowl II or Super Bowl III?
I can tell you that Joe Namath is not an answer.
Oh, I know that. I know that. But what I'm trying to decipher is, did the Packers play the Chiefs in both the first two Super Bowls?
I do think they played. So maybe we got Len Dawson, Bart Starr.
Len Dawson and Len.
No, that wasn't it.
No. They may have had different starting quarterback. I'm not saying they didn't play back-to-back. Don't remember, but they were not on this.
Did Brady? Because Brady would have had to do it.
Tom Brady. Who'd he play twice?
Who'd he play twice?
Interesting factoid, he never beat this guy.
He never...
Eli Manning. Eli Manning.
I was just trying to think of guys. I was like, there's no way he went to all those and didn't play the same guy twice.
How about that?
Eli freaking Manning. That still blows my mind that dude lost to Eli Manning and Nick Foles in the Super Bowl.
We've got one more.
There's one more?
Yep, that's it. It's only happened 3 times. This will be the 4th time. And the common denominator here is that the quarterback who won the first meeting also won the rematch every time.
Also won the rematch. Did Elway play someone twice?
No.
In his, because he went to a bunch.
Because Elway played Favre.
Washington always had different quarterbacks when they went. It was never the same QB. The Giants had different QBs. They had Sims and Hostetler.
Doug Williams.
He's a broadcaster now.
He's a broadcaster.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. There's one more?
Yeah.
You're talking about? There's another one?
Yeah. There's one more matchup of quarterbacks who played in the Super Bowl against one another multiple times.
Steve Young? No, Steve Young. No.
Very famous and loud, boisterous broadcaster.
Very famous and loud, boisterous. Why am I...
Buckley says he has it, but now he looks frightened.
Why am I blanking? Oh, Terry Bradshaw would have had to play someone, right? And they went to 4.
Bingo.
Staubach, maybe?
Roger Staubach, Terry Bradshaw.
Okay.
That is the 3rd one.
All right. I
was like... only 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's how hard it. I mean, getting back to the Super Bowl is
yes.
So that's what I say. Like, if Philly doesn't get this one, the fact that Hurts, he's not an elite quarterback. The fact that he's getting a second shot at this, you better take advantage of this, because getting back to a 3rd that's a rarefied air.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
No, it does not.
And the first quarterback won the second match.
And he's probably going to win this one
every
too.
time.
Here's one for you that I got this morning. A quarterback Super Bowl trivia question. 3 quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl wearing number 15.
Well, that I know is Bart Starr.
Bart Starr.
I believe
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, and I think the other one is I just mentioned him. I think Jeff Hostetler was number 15.
Whoa.
Exactly. That's
Wow. You got to bring it harder than that, pal. I'm all over this. I had none of those. I didn't even remember Patrick Mahomes' number. I'm really bad about jersey numbers.
I don't know why that's something that sticks in my head.
15.
It's a weird. I use it for a lot of like passwords and stuff.
I have another trivia question that I saw
Random
today.
off the top trivia. I love it.
Well, this pertains to Joey because Joey was drafted in. You were drafted in 2002, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are 3 Hall of Famers in that draft class. Who are they? And take yourself out of this.
Julius Peppers.
Yep. All defense.
All defense.
God, I'm trying to think.
All first round.
What?
Yeah.
What year
was Ed Reed in that class?
Yep,
Ed
Reed.
was in that class.
Yeah,
Ed
Reed.
was in that class.
He
I
was.
thought he was the following year.
No, he was in your class. Big Ed.
And then the last one would be.
I'm trying to think.
He went right after you. Not right after you, but like.
Well, because we were around the same year. Was Dwight Freeney in that class?
Dwight Freeney.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah, Dwight Freeney.
I was just thinking because we were like a year apart, so I remember playing against Dwight Freeney in college, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
You went third. He went 11th. Peppers went second, and Ed Reed went 24th.
It's not a
How
bad
did I
little
not?
class.
I thought both those guys were 03.
Well,
you thought wrong. And
Wow.
speaking of numbers, I don't know why, because this is now in my head since we're doing random trivia, and I am fascinated by numbers. Joey, you were the only place you weren't 3 was Atlanta, right? 13 in Atlanta.
Correct.
Everywhere else you were 3.
Correct.
Oh, see,
13.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Probably someone had 3.
Well, yeah, but
Bingo.
So you added 1.
Uh-huh.
What else are you gonna do?
Well,
You
it's
want-
unlucky.
You wanted to go to 4?
You can't go to 13.
13 is lucky.
That's
Lucky
why
number
you're not in the
13.
Hall of Fame, right there. Unlucky.
Yeah, well, 13 was Emily's number, so you
Oh.
can tell her.
Yeah. I just was sitting there when we were talking about numbers. I was thinking about Joey, and I was like, I think he was 3 everywhere he went. And the reason why I remember Atlanta was your brother wearing the 13 Atlanta jersey at the casino. That's what got me thinking about the when you were bringing up numbers. I was like, oh yeah, Joey was 13.
Why were you number 3?
Because that was the Notre Dame quarterback number.
Yeah, Joe Montana and all that.
That was Joe Montana.
Rick Meyer.
Who?
Rick Meyer was
Meyer. Ron Paulus.
Yeah.
Joe Thiesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony
Okay.
Rice was
That
9,
was,
though. National championship quarterback Tony Rice. He was 9.
Yes, he was.
See?
Riley Leonard.
Numbers. Riley Leonard was
12?
13, I believe.
13?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Rob is
I don't
not.
know.
Rob is not a number. No,
what
when
are
you
we even
play
talking
numbers are a
about
big
anymore?
deal.
What'd you say?
What are we even talking about anymore?
Nothing.
No, nothing. Numbers.
Hang up the phone.
Are we just killing time now?
This is disgusting. Yes, well, we're done. We have to go. Buckley's mad. The world's mad.
Isn't there like a club or something that you guys
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you want to join us?
Not really. Not if it's going to be like this conversation. This one was kind of boring.
All right. Well, we'll bring it hard next week.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
They're not all first-round picks. They're not all Dwight Freeney's.
That's right.
Well, you know what?
Enjoy the
I
snow.
got nothing. Bye.
Bye. Joey Harrington, courtesy of Mods PDX. The future of building is here.
We lost him with the numbers.
I'll tell you that guy. He's something. Let's talk about sex. Coming up next.
Boy, that's spicy. Do you actually have anything to talk about sex, or are you just trying
I'll tell you my jersey number that I wear during sex.
Hey, what, your Royals jersey?
It's number 5.
More importantly, what does your wife wear?
I'm not telling you that. The Club is next on The Fan. Well, that's a good transition to Windows. Right now at Window Nation, you can get 60% off all Windows styles. Can you believe that? 60%! That's unbelievable! Which is why you probably can't believe it. And you can get no interest payments for 2 years. Pay nothing. It's crazy. This is the best deal that they have had going for quite some time, and it is going to end, I believe, here today because today's last day of the month. So you got to call right now, 866-90-NATION, or log on to windownation.com, and they will schedule you for a free in-home consultation. It's no obligation. You don't have to go through with it, but you're going to want to because Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty, and they were recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. You can trust them for high-quality, affordable windows. Hurry, the sale ends soon. 866-90-NATION or windownation.com. 60% off of all window styles. Please tell me you heard it from Ropp on the Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Fred Meyer for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Fred Meyer. Fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You'll find low prices on thousands of items. The yellow and red tags mean you'll save big on sparkling ice water, Kroger brand chips, and so much more. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
It's winter in Oregon, which means rain. Waterlogged soil expands as it saturates, and that pressure can impact your home's foundation, sometimes even allowing the rain to get into your home. Terra Firma Foundation Systems can help. Terra Firma is the Northwest
Shut the hell up. Club 1080 with Isaac and Suk.
It does go well with a chicken.
I didn't know hanging out with you was making me smarter. Full disclosure, Morty, it's not. Temporary superintelligence is just a side effect of the mega seeds dissolving in your rectal cavity. Oh, man. Yeah, and once those seeds wear off, you're gonna lose most of your motor skills, and you're also gonna lose a significant amount of brain functionality for 72 hours, Morty. Starting right about now.
Club 1080 with Isaac and Suk is brought to you by Pub Beer, the official beer of Cheap Fun.
It makes me sad. It makes me sad.
Let's go more start. Yeah. Let's do that.
It makes me sad.
Come on,
Thanks, Isaac and Suk.
Germany's a great city.
Hey, yeah, beautiful hair. But,
Package.
Should I go right? Should I go left? Damn it. How do I get in that little girl's toilet?
My son is an idiot.
Kick the ball, you little bitch.
Space Force.
Head coach?
God. What?
Hi, I'm a balloon. Bye.
I do that. I got something's on.
That's 50% stupid.
I was wondering what would break first, your spirit or your body?
Or your body.
Oh, the great Tom Hardy.
How's everybody doing
Jordan
out there?
Mailata. Not good. You see another plane went down?
Yeah, I'm watching the coverage right now.
Dude, that video is insane.
That one, not a commercial one, though.
No, it was a Learjet. I guess it was it was like a life flight thing. It was
a medical plane.
Medical plane. And there was a patient on board with a family member, and they were heading to Branson to get some sort of treatment. And
I thought they were going to Springfield.
Yeah, but it was they were landing at the Branson airport. Springfield, Missouri, Branson, Missouri, heading to Missouri. And the plane was on fire. It looked like a missile. It hit the ground at 300 plus mile an hour. It was
straight nosedive into
straight
a fireball.
nosedive on fire already. And have you seen the video of the dude on fire afterwards?
No, I saw the video of the dude at the drive-thru who just kind of turned around and got the whole thing behind him.
Dude, there is everyone has video of this, and it's insane. But now again, be careful because everything's coming out. But it does appear that it hit. We know everyone on board was dead. I think there were 6 people. There was a pilot, a crew, the patient, a family member. But it hit in a residential area. And there's a video of what appears to be a guy that got caught. He ended up on fire because of the plane. And he's kind of stumbling away from the plane wreck, and the Human Torch. And someone was like, dude, is that a survivor? I'm like, no one walked away from that crash on fire. It was just probably some dude that was just sitting there minding his own business, and then a
emojis.
Fiery ball came at him.
A lot of ways to go,
Yeah, that may be the worst.
Burning alive would be horrible.
Yeah.
What about falling off of a balcony while doing a threesome sex scene?
Yeah, by the way, I've immediately put up my something doesn't make sense here.
Yes, an OnlyFans porn star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just say an OnlyFans star?
Yeah, because the OnlyFans model.
Well, because not everyone on OnlyFans does porn. Some people just have accounts and they do stuff.
No,
seriously, not everyone does porn.
Well, I get that, but
I think they're just pointing out that this is one of those porn-doing OnlyFans people.
Lesser than.
Lesser than. Well, she was having a threesome.
Yeah.
And I would like to know.
Doing a couple guys.
She was in Brazil.
She was in Brazil.
She was hot.
She's her name was Anna Pauli.
Yeah.
That's not her real name, but that's what she goes by, Anna Pauli. And she was at a 4-star hotel, and this was January 23rd. A very intense lovemaking scene, they say.
Evidently.
And she fell off the balcony.
Well, all right. First off,
did she fall?
Or so they got 2 dudes who were there. Both of them
not her boyfriend.
Not the boyfriend, which I found
who
interesting.
Released a statement.
Yeah, so
that's the weirdest part of this whole thing.
Yeah, the boyfriend's heartbroken. I'm like, well, that's all right. All I'm saying is, what are the odds that there was I'm trying to think in my head how a 3-way on a balcony leads to the girl falling and neither one of the guys. And they
blinked her right off.
And the authorities say that both dudes have different versions of what happened.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, dude, they Peter Panned her ass off that balcony.
For what?
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I'm not here to judge anyone, but I'm guessing that these aren't necessarily the most, upright citizens in the world.
I bet they're upright.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, why would you? I'm sensing an awful lot of judginess from
I'm
you
not
on
judging.
This.
I'm not judging.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I am not. I'm simply saying what I'm asking.
They're
again,
probably good dudes.
This is whenever I hear stories, my BS antenna goes up.
Lucky dudes.
So what are the odds?
Yeah, it's where the hard dudes are.
So you're telling me that she was dangling over the balcony? And
well, let's think about this.
I'm trying to figure out a scenario. Well, what sexual position could 2 dudes and a girl be in on a balcony where she goes over the balcony, but neither guy does?
Well, maybe one of them was taking a break. I could see how it would happen between 2 people.
Yeah, you gotta take breaks. Don't I know that?
We need to take one of those.
Isn't
by
the
way.
whole point of the threesome that it's all happening at once?
Well, yeah, they switch off and stuff though.
I don't think that's the way that goes.
No?
I don't know what videos you've been watching. I've never seen one where you tag out. That's not the Macho Maniacs.
Hey, dude, it's your turn now.
The Warrior's not tagging in the Macho Man. It's the same time. So in what scenario? Or is it possible that three, whatever people, someone got upset at someone and threw the other one and threw the other one off the balcony, and now they're both telling a story, and yet it's a different story? You would think that they would have the same story.
What are their stories?
It just says that when I was reading TMZ, it says that the authorities are investigating this as possible foul play, and that both actors have conflicting stories about how it all went down.
It's nice they called them actors.
Yeah, I mean,
they were performing.
I think they are performing.
Was there a cameraman?
See, here's the thing. They
I
said
guess you don't need a cameraman.
They say they're scouring her.
Well, yeah, it should be on film.
It should be on film. Look, they threw her off that balcony.
Someone says it sounds like the plot to a Nick Cage movie. I would watch that movie.
Bet you would.
I'd watch this movie.
Bet you would.
Dude, they threw her off that balcony, right?
But for what?
Yeah, I don't really get.
Like, what would
I
be
mean,
the
maybe,
incentive
but why? Like,
right.
I don't know.
How about
It doesn't seem that obvious.
The a payment dispute. I don't know. Something.
Well, you're not going to get your money now.
Something happened in the the act of the sweet, sweet lovemaking. Who knows?
Or she might have just been kind of repositioning herself, and whoop.
Brazilian authorities are digging into the details of her death as two male scene performers are telling completely different stories about what went down during the wild final hookup.
What do you mean final?
We need to know what the two stories are.
The co-stars, who are also OnlyFans performers, were released after questioning, but the homicide unit is not ruling out foul play.
Okay.
Cops are checking the CCTV, grilling the staff, and digging through Anna's phone as they piece together what really happened. Dude, they threw her off the balcony. Come on.
I don't know.
By the way, the autopsy results aren't out yet. I got a good idea what the autopsy is going to say. They threw her off the balcony.
Well, unless it's something like she OD'd and they wanted to make it look like she jumped and they did something else. Like, the autopsy could tell a different story.
Now, Anna's boyfriend, Pedro Henrique, wasn't part of the accident. He took to social media. He's heartbroken.
Ooh, text line has a good idea. What if she laughed at one of their little weens?
See, yeah, something happened.
Well, they said final act. Like,
Final act.
As if there had been other acts.
No. Something went
Was
down.
this the grand finale scene? Maybe they were like...
I just would like someone to please lay out how the threesome ended with her going over.
Well, like I said, maybe they were trying to make it a big scene.
Doesn't.
Someone else says, talk about the deleted scenes people want to see.
Ooh, I don't want to see that.
Well, I mean, like the authorities do.
Oh.
Yeah, and someone's saying there must have been a cameraman. Well, they probably just had the phone
Not
out
anymore.
recording.
You just
set up a
it up on
tripod,
your own.
which means this thing is going to be on film unless it's not on film. In that case, they threw her off the balcony and we're like, and the phone is gone.
All right, well, very sad news.
It is sad news. Yeah. I don't want to see her go.
We have a dead young woman.
Yes, she's in the prime of whatever she was doing.
Her life.
Yeah.
She's doing OnlyFans, dude. They make a lot of money.
You do make a lot of money.
Don't act like if you weren't a hot girl, you wouldn't be on OnlyFans doing it. Because you would.
Yeah.
I know you.
You
do it.
There's a guy that walks around Miami, and he just asks hots what they do, and it's like, it's all content creator, and he's like OnlyFans, and they all just kind of smirk. It's just, it's a golden age of hots right now. And yes.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
You'd do it.
Absolutely, 100%. Seen some of the money? It's insane.
I have a story of cyber fart bullying.
What?
That is right in our wheelhouse.
Yeah. You've not read about this yet?
No, but I've seen where video games are hoping to incorporate within a year or two smells.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Smell-o-vision?
Well, like the controller now rumbles and vibrates depending on what happens.
Yeah.
And they're saying the next thing that is coming soon is that you will be able to have smells. Yeah. I don't know if that's good.
I don't know if that's good.
I don't know if it's good or not. Because you know where that's going to lead. It's an OnlyFans thing is happening. Yeah. Smell this.
All right, cyber fart bullying is a thing. Next on The Fan.
It's the Vancouver Ford text line.
Plenty of time to talk.
and Souk.
Sitting on a cloud of judgment, handing down life lessons to all the sinners.
Club 1080 with Isaac and Souk is brought to you by Pub Beer, the official beer of Cheap Fun.
Double Sun Power!
Now to cyber fart bullying.
Yeah, talk to me.
A Welsh woman was fined and hit with a restraining order for sending her boyfriend's ex-partner a series of videos of herself farting as part of a bizarre harassment campaign.
Right in the butt.
I find that hilarious.
Her name is Rhiannon Evans. She is only 25 years old.
Yeah, and she's a farter.
She pestered her beau's ex, whose name is Deborah, with multiple videos of herself laughing while cutting the cheese directly into the camera.
I'm sorry, that's amazing.
It is amazing. Why is this the first of its kind?
If you want to know if it's true love,
I feel like Suk would have invented this.
Yeah, this is fantastic. The idea that your woman's like, yeah, your ex is a real bitch. Check this out, and she just farts at her.
And she's laughing while doing it?
I'm sorry. It's petty, but it's hilarious. And we all know it's hilarious.
Well, the prosecutor, Diane Williams,
He did not
think that it was that great.
You can get in trouble for that?
Oh, yeah. She got in charge.
She get in trouble for sending a fart?
It was purely malicious. She was smirking throughout. She found it hilarious.
It was
but
malicious
the victim did
fecal
not.
distribution.
That's right.
Who knew farting?
This is malicious fecal distribution.
So if I send you a video of me just farting, I'm not nude or anything, I'm just farting, it'd be one thing if it was a close-up of like, it's like a fisheye view of it, but come on.
Oh, no.
We need to grow up a little bit here.
Evans sent the videos of the sickening squeakers over the course of the Christmas holiday, with other footage being sent on Boxing Day and New Year's Eve. The impetus for the harassment is a child contact dispute between Evans' partner and Miss Deborah.
Yeah, there's nothing that says we can figure out how to take care of our kid like farting at the exes.
Right. Evans' lawyers argued that their gassy client, excuse me, was drunk at the time she sent the taunting toot tapes, and that she suffered from mental health problems. No way.
Why do we have to make excuses? Why can't it just be, I find this hilarious? I don't get how that's illegal.
I think they're saying, well, it's not really her fault. She didn't know what she was doing. She's crazy. Her lawyer also claimed that Evans did not know sending the videos was a criminal offense and wondered why the woman receiving the unwanted messages simply did not block her phone number.
Yeah, exactly.
However, the winds did not break in her favor. In the court.
Is this a Post, by the way? This is genius writing.
It's New York.
Listen.
Yeah, it's New York Post.
It can be pretty lowbrow, but their descriptors and alliteration here with all the fart stuff, pretty top-notch.
Look, there is no better website for our show right now than the New York Post.
It's like 60% of the links that I send you.
They just have all kinds of stuff on
They're doing great work, including cyber fart bullying.
That's right.
Now, what happens now, if we ever get to the point like on the PlayStation where you can add smell, now I get why that's bullying. Like, you open up your phone and someone's like, and then the smell accompanies it. That's bullying. But this, I appeal this conviction if you are, because this is malicious fecal distribution. I kind of want to send a fart video right now to somebody.
This is malicious fecal distribution.
She pleaded guilty
Really?
to pursuing a course of conduct amounting to harassment. She was given 15 rehabilitation sessions, 60 days of alcohol abstinence monitoring, and a 2-year restraining order for
You
that.
can't just say, I'm sorry, you have to quit booze for 2 months?
How great is it? Like, you're in counseling, and they're like, what are you in for? Farting.
They're like, are you sorry yet? And you're like, yeah, it's my 12th session out of 15. I was sorry at the first one. Like, what else do you want?
I know. Jeez.
Can't do it.
No.
I'm sorry I was drunk. I shouldn't have. Can that just be the end of it? No.
Apparently not.
Not there.
You have to learn a lesson.
The only thing that I was thinking of, like, revenge, exes being petty and awful to one another.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I can think of that kind of rivals that is, do you remember the story of the dude? And I can't remember if it was the guy or the girl. I think it was the woman who got the guy, but it may be the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Where they split up and got a divorce. She went and bought a house. Or maybe he bought the house.
The story is it was a rich guy and his wife divorced him, and she got the house in the settlement. So he had a bunch of money
next door.
So he bought the house next door, and the best part of the house that he had to give up, it had this stellar view of the water. I think it was in like Malibu. So he bought the house next door, and right in front of her view, he erected a giant metal statue of a middle finger. So every time she looked out the window at her $1 million view, it was just a big metal bird.
I heard one that was like kind of random, but like I guess it would be consistent. And like this dude whose wife left him and then married somebody else, when she got remarried, he sent the wedding present of a lifetime subscription to TV Guide magazine, and it comes every month as a reminder of him. He's like, I just want you to think about me and your marriage every month, like when you get this thing in the mail. And that was his thing.
I love pettiness.
30 years, she kept getting the TV Guide every month. Ah, damn it, that guy again.
I don't want to be petty, but God, sometimes it's hilarious.
You have the middle finger monument.
Yeah.
That's in Vermont. Yeah, and it's really something. Dude, it is.
It's the ultimate FU.
And I think it made her so mad that I think she tried to take that along. Like, look at this.
Yeah, she sued.
Yes, because she was like, dude, look at that thing. It's enormous, and it's way up in the air, and it's lit up, and it's just him flipping her off.
I'm
sorry.
I love that he got divorced, and they're like, are you moving far away from your ex? Nope, moving next door. Why? So I can erect this middle finger. I mean, if you had to give up your super nice house, isn't that the best revenge? Is to move next door to the woman that hates you, and then just have a series. I would just have a series of hots. Just a series of hots stroll through there on a regular basis. Oh, it's good times.
It's at the top of this. I don't know. Think of a ski lift pole.
Yeah.
It's that high. She cannot miss it.
No.
Every time she wants to look out her window.
You can't enjoy that house anymore.
You really can't. And it's still there.
Still there.
Apparently.
Yeah, she sued, and the judge was
said
like,
no.
Yeah, the judge was like, no. And he's like, it's his property. He can do whatever he wants.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. It's like the guy that wouldn't sell to Trump and then wrote FU on the barn.
How about, on that note, did you see the guy who Buckley showed me this one the other day. He's in, where is that guy? Pakistan, I think, where he said no to, they wanted to buy his house to buy him out so they could build
this is China, I think.
So they could build a freeway.
This is in China.
He said no.
They built around it.
They built around it, and it is so good.
Yeah, I've seen it.
They totally host him.
Yes. He is,
he has to go through a tunnel to get out his front door.
Yeah, his house is worthless now.
Dude, you got to read that.
He could never sell it. I've seen that before.
Have you seen the photos of it?
If it's the same one. Yeah.
Dude.
He has to go through
It's like cars just humming by his house at all times, and it's down below the freeway.
Should have sold.
And they have to walk they have to walk through a tunnel to get to his house.
Should have sold. Sometimes you fight the man, and the man wins.
He says he does regret not having accepted the package in the first place.
Yeah, he ended up saying I feel like I gambled and lost. Yeah, dude, I would say so.
You sure as hell did. All right, here's Buck with SportsCenter.
This is a Football Friday edition of Primetime with Isaac and Suk.
Brought to you by the Odyssey app.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on 1080 The Fan.
Ryan Buckley with this SportsCenter update. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers have won 6 of 7. They are off tonight, but they continue their 7-game homestand again on Saturday when they host the Phoenix Suns. The Suns, by the way, in action tonight on the front end of a back-to-back there in Golden State, taking on Steph Curry and the Warriors. Meanwhile, Blazers forward Toumani Camara will be headed to the Bay Area for All-Star Weekend. He's been added to the Rising Stars Challenge alongside teammate Scoot Henderson. In the NFL, the Bucs have promoted passing game coordinator Josh Grizzard to offensive coordinator following Liam Cohen's departure to Jacksonville. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints say they will wait until after the Super Bowl to hire their next head coach. The widespread belief is that it will be Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Ryan Buckley at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Slam Dunk in Vegas is our nationwide contest for 1080 with Isaac and Suk is brought to you by Pub Beer, the official beer of Cheap Fun.
Double Sun Power!
We have now launched into a discussion of petty X.
Everyone knows someone that's been through one of these.
I don't think I.
You don't?
Well, some of these stories, like Buck found a thread. It was like
somebody's compiling stories that men and women have shared over the years.
Some woman said that she saw her ex in a store, and so she told security that they were shoplifting, which is funny, but also probably terribly inconvenient for the guy.
Yeah. I mean, it could throw off your whole day if you're. Yeah.
Somebody else said that she and her husband got a divorce, and all the guy wanted was this really expensive bottle of champagne that they had been gifted.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, no. And he was like, well, it was gifted to me. So I want half. Well, she eventually held out, but she went over to his house and took the bottle and poured half of it out on the porch and said, there's your half, you little bitch. And took her half home.
Took her half. I have one of my buddies. It wasn't during a divorce. It was just during an argument. My buddy called me and said, "Hey, this was many moon ago." He called me and said, "Hey, do you want to meet at Nordstrom after the show?" He goes, "I got to pick up a couple things and then we'll go to dinner." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I met him at Nordstrom after the show, and I thought he was, just, I don't know, picking up a pair of pants or had something tailored, whatever. And when I showed up, he had a personal shopper and like a mound of clothes. And I was like, what in the hell? And I guess he came home from work, and his wife was unhappy. So she had gone into the closet, put everything back. But every pair of pants was cut off at the knees. Every pair of underwear or shorts had the crotch cut out. And every shirt had the sleeves cut off of it and then put it on back.
God, resourceful little bitch. What did he do?
I don't even remember. This is like 15 years ago.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, well, yeah, I guess that does mean you have to pick up a few things at Nordstrom. And it was bad. I couldn't help it. We both just started laughing because, what are you going to do?
What did you say that someone said they took the little turntable out of the microwave?
They just took the turntable out of the microwave. Just left with that. Someone else says...
I love the pettiness of it.
Someone else here says that she broke up with me over email, so I subscribed her work email account to as many spam emails as I could. About 200 different subscriptions in total,
Hell yeah.
50 of which were sex toy newsletters. Enjoy the updates on the horse-sized things that they are offering.
All right. We'll wrap it up next on The Fan.
The home of Dirt and Spray.
Outside of the